Welcome in. Welcome in, Carpet for the Horse, single by choice, truth over lies family. It is Wednesday night, and we're about to cook up. How you feeling, Mr. Walker?
Yes, sir. I am feeling freaking-tastic per usual. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, El Nug Nugs and Le Bonquishas. Welcome to Cart Before the Horse, Truth Over Lies. In affiliation with the Bougie Negro Podcast, and also, as all you Negroes know, in association with Ain't No Fun Once the Rabbits Got the Gun Entertainment. What's going on with you this fine Wednesday?
In the big name of Jesus, you hear me?
Welcome in. All right, we're getting all set up here. It is Wednesday night. Y'all see YouTube doing something different, so we moving a lot. Some of y'all watching vertical, some of y'all watching landscape. So welcome in.
There we go. We moving, man. No matter how you are observing the truth over lies, come one, come all this fine October 22nd, 2025. Me and Mr. X is still alive and feeling fine. Report to you, Jive Chickens, from this wonky, ever-changing dating market and political landscape as well. Welcome in on this 21st day of our 35-day marathon. Don't want to miss the madness.
That part. So make sure y'all hitting the like button. Tonight we are exclusively here over at Truth Over Lies. So make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as you come into the room.
There you go. We move it, man. Shout out to the new feature here, the vertical / landscape feature. There you go. Maybe we might get some new viewers. Be kind, chat. All right. Let folks have a little bit of an opinion before y'all go booting folks.
I believe it's two different feeds. So it's two totally different streams.
Oh,
So the chats don't connect. Either you watching over there or on there.
That's
We can see both, but they can't.
okay. Yeah, I don't care. As long as I want to see. I don't care what they see.
Depending on which one you're watching on.
That's okay. That's interesting. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So we could pull up chats from the vertical that the horizontal folks can't see. Interesting.
So here we go. Shout out to YouTube and StreamYard. We're going to see what this hitting on. But we got a crazy show lined up. Yeah, your mic came in hot too. I turned you down back here in the studio. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, I turned it down in StreamYard, but it came in hot. I don't know what's going on, but it sounds good right now.
Okay.
Where we at? Nonetheless, we're going to drop the link here real soon. We talking Truth Over Lies, MAGA Madness. Will things get better or worse? Where we at?
I don't know. It seems like the government has done their job. The divide has been set, and I think things are going to get worse. Folks ain't really open to listen to other folks' opinions. Folks ain't really open to listen to other folks' point of views, not just opinions, right? Because we all got an opinion, but this other folks' point of view, I think, is very important. You know, just because maybe I grew up on this side of the train tracks and you grew up on this side, but we can still have a common ground. We can still develop at least an understanding for one another. Ain't necessarily trying to sway anybody either way, but there seems to be a lot of hatred when it comes to politics. And that's the government's work. Y'all need to stop letting them divide y'all like that. That's y'all. Me and Mr. X, we political. I repeat, we are political atheists. I don't care nothing about the government. Call us ignorant. Come educate us.
That part. So file in. All right, we got a crazy show, like we saying. We're gonna drop the link. We're gonna bring the people up. We're gonna let y'all talk. We're probably gonna roll the timeouts out. So yeah, we're gonna, in case it get too crazy.
Where y'all at? Baba T, where you at? Mr. Wilson, Leon, Ty Pro, where y'all at?
And also, shout out to Sister Ebony Dean. She come through sponsoring the show with $25 in the Cash App. She says the marathon continues. Let's go. Truth over lies.
Shout out to our glistening sister Ebony Dean. We appreciate you, sister.
Straight like that, straight like that, straight like that, straight.
Appreciate you, sister. So here we go. We're gonna get started. We're gonna get going. Y'all know we're gonna set the stage a little bit, but we're gonna get the link out here because we want y'all to come up. We don't want y'all, we don't waste too much time.
There you go. Me and Miss X will get up here cooking, and then y'all be having 4 hours worth of stuff y'all be ready to say. So come on, hit the link. Don't be waiting late in the show. We try to come up, or you gonna miss your turn to get that off y'all chest. Y'all got a lot of built up political frustration, so it seems.
There we go. So I'll pull this video up. All right, this woman, y'all know what's going on in Chicago. Where we at? Atlanta, a lot of these places, LA, Memphis. They sending the ICE agents in, and this is where we at.
And again, they not just apprehending Javier and Manuel. Yeah, folks are learning the hard way the importance of having your walking papers, as y'all like to call it, your identification.
I have been urging my people here to pause so that they can process things. Y'all talking about them coming down on that building out south. Whole time, that building used to be predominantly black. That building was predominantly Venezuelans, okay? There are people from that neighborhood that have been complaining about that building for a year, okay? They showed y'all broken windows and shit that were already there. These are the things that y'all have to stop doing. And this is why I keep telling people here in the city, particularly black people, pause so you can process. If y'all start responding to shit out of emotion, then you don't know what the fucking play is because you haven't had time to actually think. What people are doing are trying to get a rise out of black Chicagoans, okay? That was one incident. Then you had the guy out west that had the accident and they pulled him out and one of the agents was choking him and people were recording it, okay? So again, follow-ups to all of these things, never. Nobody ever comes back with the follow-up. They talking about, they're arresting black people in Chicago. All of the black people that they took from that building on the south side were released. The 37 people that they detained were all Venezuelans who were part of a particular gang.
Yeah! Boom, shakalaka! And we hit on that before. We talked about that apartment complex, and granted, there were black. We talked about allowing people to infiltrate our spaces, right? And especially your damn home, where y'all live.
Here you go. This is, if you ask me, this is a result of being too inclusive to a fault, too loving to a fault. Yeah, come on. We don't even got any control over this project building, but y'all come on. And I guess we're going to protect one another. No, you're not. And again, not knowing and not understanding the rules and laws of this land does not make us exempt from them. Like these folks, I'm pretty sure when ICE went in, they start asking for identification and folks they weren't producing it. And they said, okay, we can't identify. We're here for a particular group. But we need to be able to identify you, leave you here. If you cannot identify who you are so you can stay, we're gonna have to come on down to the Hooskow and get this figured out. And then they got released. But folks are mad because they had to get taken down and to the jailhouse. Have your ID, know the rules of this game.
That part. And I say it's wild in Chicago right now.
Get out, bitch! Get out!
Kick it out, kick it out, kick it out!
I say this is very much so real. This is Chicago. You know, that's a caravan. That's an ICE little caravan going through the streets, and they trying to stop them. They putting stuff in the road. They knocking the mirrors off. They going ham, throwing stuff.
You know, it's I don't know what this is except for release and frustration. Excuse me, but I'm just for desired outcome. Like, what is going to be accomplished, you know, from being out there and throwing stuff at the ice folks. I just really want to know, besides potentially being bought up on charges yourself, because you destroying government property, whatever. And then they'll have cameras. See what I'm saying? Stop. They got cameras everywhere. They'll be mailing y'all tickets and citations. Hey, they're gonna send you an image of you hitting a car and be like, we'll see you in court for this. All right. Now then y'all be mad. What's y'all desired outcome in protesting? I just want to know. I would like to know.
Man. And shout out to Frederick Howard, gift of the membership.
Appreciate you, brother Frederick. Per use, brother.
And Rachai Media with the fireball. He says the longest U.S. government shutdown in history lasted 35 days from December 22nd, 2018 to January 25th, 2019.
Okay, appreciate you, Rachai, for the data and statistics. But let's see.
And I believe T Money was in office at that time.
Whew. So shoot. Well, right now we looking to beat that one.
It'd be unfortunate. Because if they drag this thing going out, who knows?
It's the food stamps. I ain't gonna hold y'all. My biggest concern, or what the thing that got my antenna up, is them not releasing these food stamps to the poor and the hungry and the entitled. I think they're gonna start tearing this up. This is light work. Let them food stamps not hit and they start getting real hungry. Everybody's car gonna get hit, not just ICE.
That part. And here. Shout out to Sister Michelle. She come through with a 20 ball in the Cash App. She says, thank y'all for all y'all do. Mimi Jenkins.
Mimi Jenkins.
In the chat. I'm not sure if that's Mimi. That's your chat handle. You telling us?
Mimi Jenkins. Okay. Appreciate you, Michelle. Michelle Mimi Jenkins.
Appreciate your donations. So here we go. Like we said, this is Chicago. It's ground zero. The thing is, you get a city like Chicago and the mayor, he's telling, the government he don't need their help. But we know crime is out of control. Bodies is dropping every day, but he like, we don't need y'all help. But they like, clearly y'all do.
And another question I had since I found out about that, why is the mayor saying he doesn't need help? Is it helping him or the citizens in any way, keeping the National Guard and ICE out to try to help with the crime they're not having a problem with? I don't understand it. Is it money? Is it ego? That's what I get in these political arenas nowadays. Mistakes, a lot of ego and pride and emotion. Can't get nowhere with that.
It's unfortunate. So here we go. We're going to go back over to this building here.
So for those who was questioning about who I am and where I'm at, this is Adam Clayton Powell. This is the building that everyone is in an uproar about. So as I said, South Shore, this is your community, your neighborhood, and this building was not majority black when the ICE came the other day. Yes, black people were affected, but this building was overran by illegal Venezuelan gangs. And I just had several conversations with residents who are moving their stuff out of here that confirmed that. So stop letting media put that false narrative in your head that somebody coming for you, because they not. You was born here. You was born on this land.
I'll say this. This is, goes against Nug Nug. When y'all let somebody just come in and take y'all hood over. They say we went up in there and it was full. 40 of them guys were Venezuelan gangsters, part of whatever they is in their country. They came here, took over the projects.
And was punking Nug Nug. Man, they came in. Yeah, that's old school stuff. See, we grew up Not saying we did or didn't partake in any of that madness, but like that was the coach. Like you come in, you bully folks off the block, out the pod, seen it, you know. But nevertheless, so is this the concern? This I'm like, what's going on, folks? You telling me that melanated folks born in the United States are really worried that they are going to get deported somewhere? Is that what they saying? Is that what it? Where y'all? Where they gonna send? Where they gonna send us? Where they gonna send y'all? Like, it makes no sense. I was right. This is foolish. So they like, oh, ICE is coming to get us all. Y'all need to be worried. They coming to get all of us. No, they not.
And there you go. I see y'all talking about they had help. Yeah. These guys were being dropped off. So the governor in Texas he was sending these buses full of people. He said, I'm right at the border. Y'all don't want to take them? Oh, y'all got sanctuary cities? Anywhere there's a sanctuary city, I'm sending busloads of them. So he was sending 500, 1,000 at a time. Chicago, all right, New York, Atlanta. And he was paying for the buses, obviously government funds. He's like, y'all ain't about to have all these people in my state. I'm about to just start sending them to wherever y'all say it's a sanctuary city, LA.
Hey, because he knew better. Because when ICE came through like they did not want, see what I'm saying? The folks in the suburbs or whatever, just not non-poor melanated folks that's done worked hard and then got it out the mud and the gutter. They's like, no, because we know what's going to happen. We all going to be included in that. If you ask me, this is the ignorance that the impoverished share. Like, they don't understand social economics. It's not always about the color of your flesh. It's also about your socioeconomic status. The poor will be treated like the poor, no matter what color they is. Seems like that's hard to understand today.
That part. So here we go. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. All right. Before we keep the show moving, because here we are. We're going to start it here. We talk about MAGA Madness. Will things get better or worse? They talking about they're going to end the food stamp thing going on right now. And they talk about running up in stores. Trump talking about starting the Insurrection Act. He said he will enact it if he need to, if things get out of hand.
And what is the Insurrection Act?
Here we go. I'm going to get our Googles on here.
Yeah, I'm about to do that. Because, I got to see, because I find that interesting because, wasn't T-Money responsible for and the insurrection? Now
that's what they tried to say. That's what they were trying to charge him with that. But I guess,
like that I could see. Like he sit up there, like, what is that? Like
that was for that January 6th stuff. They was trying to charge for that,
and now he is coming up with an act or rule so that you can't do that anymore.
Well, no, it's an actual thing. Like I said, look it up real quick. But when it's similar to like martial laws, going down that rabbit hole where there's going to be control.
Let me see. Here we go.
And like they trying to say he incited that riot. He sent them people there. So they saying people get out of hand. And like we just seen the people with the ICE agents and stuff, things may get to that.
The Insurrection Act provides a statutory exception to the Passe Comitatus Act.
There we go. That's what remember the Joy Taylor, she was like the Kasi Patatata. That's when the National Guard is not allowed to arrest citizens. But I guess if he enacted,
okay, now we get somewhere. It says that limits the president's deploying the U.S. military to enforce either civil law or criminal law within the United States. Okay, so he's going to enact a law where now the National Guard military personnel can put cuffs on you. Oh, that's dark. That just feel weird. Like, because cops is cop, but military, like, I don't know. I could, like, what if you got some dad going, this is the National Guard. So I guess you ain't gonna have no Marine. You ain't gonna have no Marine. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. Like, you trying to get mouthy with some war-torn Marine. He ain't about to act like no law officer. He probably gonna put you in the full Nelson and body slam you. Nevertheless, stay out the way. See, this is what I mean. We gotta educate ourselves. And
I was gonna say, when Bonquisha talking about, if y'all don't send my stuff, I'm running up in Walmart. No, you ain't, because the National Guard gonna be outside of every Walmart waiting on you.
And I would imagine they're gonna be a lot more forceful. This is why we got to learn the laws and the rules going on. You see what I'm saying? You gonna see, because Bonquisha don't care nothing about trying to figure out what's going, the rules to this game. Understand the rule, like in like a damn board game, Monopoly. You can't just start making up your own rules. You're gonna go to jail. God dang it. Bonquisha gonna be up in Wally World thinking she can steal all of the stakes and the steakums. And then whenever the military roll up on her, like empty your purse, like, you can't tell me what to do. Bonquisha, you didn't read the Insurrection Act, did you? Yeah, you can.
So that's a thing for us to look out for as we going forward. Welcome up, Brother Luther. How you feeling today?
Feeling good, brothers. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
You too.
Got to get this attention on Chicago. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, you in Chicago. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Box Sports. Oh man.
Yes, sir.
So what logical reason would the mayor not want National Guard to come in to help with crime? Like, if there does appear to be elevated crime.
He wants to keep his job. It'll make him look like he doesn't know what he's doing. It's so easy to replace a mayor here. I'm not in Chicago right now, but I've lived there all my life. He wants to keep a job. He wants to be able to look at himself and become a governor. This is the bad time for all this to happen, because it's all going to be put on him. See?
So it's more or less selfish gain and ego.
Yes.
That would stop him. Say, hey, keep them out. I'm not going to get reelected. I'm not going to be able to climb up the ladder. Yep. That's wicked. That, to me, from how you described it, that's corruption.
Democrats want to keep the city also. He wants to keep it a democratic city. So you can't lose control if you're going to let somebody else come in and they say, why do we need you? You don't know what you're doing. You can't control it. We'll find somebody else.
Understood.
So, okay. And I said, shout out to Project Leroy. He come through with the 5-ball, says the Illinois governor, Fat Boy Donut Pritzker, brought them to Chicago to work at his Hyatt-owned hotels. Watch him get voted out in 26.
Okay, appreciate your Project Leroy. So, what do you think? What do you think, Brother Luther? Do you think the mayor's doing a good job?
From what I see, no, because they're not going into the neighborhood.
You got some clothes on? You got clothes on, JW? Come on, brother. Put a shirt on, brother.
You saying he the same color as it? You can't see no contrast between the skin of that shirt? Come on, man.
Hey, my man came up feeling like D'Angelo. May he rest in peace. How does it
representing?
Okay, well, there we go. Now we got somebody in Chicago and said no. All right.
but what you were saying earlier, the big thing they saying about that Posse Comitatus Act, what they're saying is he's developing a slow pattern to where he can affect the midterm votes. See, if he institutes that act, he can stop us from voting because it's like something like declaring war, which the president can declare.
There you go.
Politics are off. So all he's got to do is start building a base, start creating havoc enough to where he can put the federal guard in and everything. Bam, no election. I just stay the president. Everything stays the same.
There you go.
So he's just doing this, just throwing stuff out there. Like the lady said, stop. Because if you react and we get loud and we get boisterous, he won. Don't worry about elections. It's wartime. When it's wartime, he can declare no voting.
That's it. And I was thinking the same thing. People talking about, T-Money keeping his presidency, going for a third term. And that's how he would do it. And we got to be aware, have some incite some kind of war.
All you got to do is strike a match.
Yes, that's it. And now, hey, And we got anything martial law enacted. See, yeah, it don't exactly have to be some foreign war, but we got martial law. We got some newly fabricated enacted martial law, the Insurrection Act. Guess what? We can't change presidents until we figure this out.
And what did that look like?
Dictatorship.
Huh.
Money, 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 money.
And shout out to Richard with a 10 ball. He says, Mr. Walker, during the 1968 riots in Chicago, the National Guard were stationed in the black communities of South Side and West Side. Handcuffs, yes, they made arrests.
Okay. So that, okay.
And see, it was so easy that they should just strike him at. When it was first happening, when he first got elected, it was just the Hispanic and the Latin crowd, you know, and the black people, BLK people were saying, we're going to stay back. We're not going to do nothing. Well, now he's in Chicago. Now he's going to Memphis. Here we go. All he had to do was just strike them at, throw it. And they're reacting already. Pull back a little bit on those food stamps. Just fell for it. First step. He didn't even have to do anything.
That's so scary, Brother Luther. You so right,
You have to
man.
do nothing.
And I want to give Brother J. We get you here, J. I'm going to unmute you when you ain't talking because you got a little feedback, but I'm going to unmute you. What you got, brother? Welcome in.
Good afternoon, evening. So one of the things when it comes down to the Insurrection Act and stuff, they also can be able to suspend the stock market. Basically, your civil rights are suspended. Well, we already know what's going on with the human rights. I think honestly, with all with them going on to these different cities, I think honestly they're testing these different cities to see what the temperature is, see what people are going to do, and see when you put more of the squeeze on it. That's what they're probing. It's a military tactic that they do. They probe first to be able to see what's going on, to get a feel of it and whatnot, and then I think they're going to enact some things and stuff to put the squeeze on people. And I think one of them is going to be like this. Government shutdown, the suspension of the EBT, all that.
So easy. That's sad.
Cutting the EBT, like one thing we acknowledge, EBT ain't, regardless of what the media shows, the majority of EBT is coming from the Caucasian folks. So the squeeze is in. Like it ain't just racial. Like I said, we need to understand socioeconomics. Like the squeeze is on the bottom rung of people. They don't care what shade your complexion, what shade your flesh is, man.
Well, this past week, you saw this past weekend, 7 million people, and it was not a lot of brown people. There were, but if you looked at most of the pictures of all the cities from Alaska to Florida to Boston down, it was mostly people of Caucasian. So they're actually squeezing from all sides. So this is not a black thing. This is not a Mexican or Latin thing. Like he said, this is just testing. Just push. I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna push them. I'm gonna push them. Let's see. He got some time before the midterm elections. We'll see.
That part. And shout out to Milton. He says, but isn't busing illegals to other states and dropping them off just passing the buck, shifting the problem instead of dealing with the problem?
Well, there you go. Now I see what you're saying. Shoot, that governor was like, he didn't agree with it. So he said, he called they bluff. He said, y'all want to be whatever these sanctuary cities? Don't worry about it. I'm going to get him to you. Yeah, he passed the buck. But yeah, he's like, y'all want it. Y'all want the buck. So he passed it to him.
And the state's benefited though. So when they get they are getting benefits. They're getting the money from the government. So that they ain't breaking them near and losing. They're getting grants and stuff for this.
They're getting grants, but the citizens that are there are suffering. You see how that works? Come on, now we connecting dots.
Yep.
So yeah, welcome up, brother. Brother George, what's your take?
Welcome in, George.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm learning just like you fellas. I didn't know that all of this stuff can be possible. So it's eye-opening.
You know what? Here's my thing, George. No matter what new information we take in, my rule still stays the same. Play it safe, stay out the way. Like, and the more we learn, George, the Insurrection Act, what the National Guard will be able to do, stay out the way.
I will say, I'll go ahead.
No, you good, brother. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, what's that zombie TV show that came out a while back?
Walking Dead.
Yes. I realize our reality is just like The Walking Dead, people going around unconscious, just looking to consume. So that's why you gotta have the Thule on you.
That's where I get that term lone wandering zombie number 57. I was watching Walking Dead and the credits roll. And that's it. And they like, and I'll be sitting there like it'll be a scene where the main character walking on the main road, and in the shadows, there's a zombie at the tree line. That's gonna be a lot of folks. You just that zombie on the tree line that's gonna get ate by bugs eventually. No real significance. It's unfortunate.
They're gonna have you just taking your driver's license and gluing it to your forehead when you walk around, so that when you walk up to you, are you a citizen? Yep, okay, no problem. Just passport, just glue it to your chest.
And it's scary because that sounds a lot like a chip. See
I was about to say even worse. I was gonna say a rabbit hole that we don't want to go down, but even worse than that.
Yeah.
So, and shout out to Leon Turner, gifted a membership.
Appreciate you, brother Leon. Thank you.
So here's my question to you, JW, before we keep moving. The title of the show, MAGA Madness. Will things get better or worse? Have we reached the apex or what?
The apex, I would say no. Sort of like a symphony. I think this is more or less like the opening act. They're just sort of warming up. There has to be it's like one of those things that there's certain things that has to be able to happen for society to be to fail. It has to be, I think it's going to be, I think it's a slow rollout, but there's certain key things that has to happen for society to be to fail. This is sort of, it's crazy, but basically this is the kind of stuff that get, people, like I said, it is a way to test the waters and get people stirred up, see what they do.
And it's working.
Okay, I'm riding that, JW. You said this is the opening act. I agree with that to an extent. I believe this is the opening act for the working poor, middle class, and upwards that are going to be able to endure this. But for the poor folks that need these food stamps or else, this is their swan song. Like I believe from what I'm looking at this chessboard, they are the pawns. They ain't gonna even make it past, like Luther said, just this poking and prodding at them. They're gonna fall off the board just from this. But it's the more, like I said, the working poor, the folks that do got jobs that are gonna have to, withstand this.
You got to be careful because all he has to do is look out for one instead of the other. Like right before this, the initial announcement, even though this has already been talked about with the EBT, when the farmers, they were the big thing in the news for about a week. And then this came about. If he bails out the farmers and takes away the food stamps, all he's got to do is sit back and watch those two go at each other.
There you go. More divide. I agree, Luther.
Yep. And that's the part where it's going to be scary. Well, he's taking care of them, but not us. Well, why is he giving it to them?
And also, I want to add that we haven't had any real wars lately, and there ain't nothing going on. I mean, we're not really going to war with Russia. We're not really going to war with China arms-wise. So now he enacted a war on, what is it, terrorism, MS-13, whatever. So like the war is here on American soil today, and that's where the money is going to be generated, I think.
That sounds about right. It sucks to say, but look at history. It keeps repeating itself. George, we are due for some war. And that's wild.
And I would say this. What's that, Luther? Can't hear?
I can't hear.
You can't hear? I don't know. I can hear you, Mr. Walker.
Okay.
That might be you, George. You might have to go out, come back in.
That's Luther.
I'm sorry, Luther. My apologies. Well, here we go. Y'all talk about what's going to happen. I'm going to pull this up. All right. Shout out to my guy, Frenchie, one of the wildest guys on the street. Here we go.
This ought to be good.
Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday.
Agree.
Agree.
Yeah.
Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday.
Agree.
Agreed.
Yeah.
What about the 4th of July?
Oh, that's Independence Day for all Americans.
You think Juneteenth's not for all Americans?
No, they didn't make it for all Americans.
Who do you think they made it for?
Black people.
Why do you think that? Seriously, I'm like, I like to have these questions. Like, why do you think that?
Because that's what we were told. That's what we were told.
What? Yeah. All of a sudden, they don't know nothing. I don't know. It's what we were told. We didn't do any research. We don't know nothing. This is why people don't like Republicans. She didn't even think. It was a no-brainer. Like, look at it.
Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday.
Agree.
No.
Right off the bat, she didn't even process it. So she heard Juneteenth and she was like,
Hell to the no. To the no. Hell to the no.
Pure ignorance and definitely some ground in hatred there. Betty Sue, relax. Sister, Juneteenth, because we wasn't free, Betty Sue. That's why we got our whole separate Independence Day. Because as y'all was shooting off y'all fireworks and y'all sparklers, we were still bound in chains and all that wicked stuff. That's why she said, we don't know. I tell you what, though.
Anybody. I'm gonna have to drop out.
This is real. Like my freshman year in college, I came across this Caucasian sister, cool sister, ended up being a cool sister. And we was just talking, and I was on my pro-black tip. I'm like, you know what you know about MLK, what you know about Frederick Douglass? And she barely knew about MLK. And you would think they teach that nationwide. You got streets named after him. She was like, I said, who is Martin Luther King? She said, some guy, he had a dream, didn't he? This was a college student. All right, let's get the context. So a lot of these Caucasian folks, I have learned, they really live in their own bubble. They don't care about much else going on outside their culture. That's interesting, huh?
They don't need to. America is their culture as of now.
it's unfortunate. And what you got, JW?
They don't pay attention to it because of the fact that white people can maybe either participate within the society as a whole, or they can isolate themselves. And they do it, it's sort of like you get the whitest white people, then you get, the regular white people. The whitest white people is probably like her. They literally can be to just be like off on their own. Like I live in Michigan. So like there is racial groups and stuff, racist groups and stuff up north. Need I say more? They choose to separate. They're separatists. They choose to sit. They'd be out up in the woods doing their own thing. So so is it not surprising that that sort of like socially and psychologically they sort of separate themselves because they don't have to really think about this.
JW, is your shirt? Oh, is your shirt open?
My bad. It's nothing crazy.
I couldn't
You
even.
better not have to peach it. You better not have to peach it.
What we about to do is we about to ban the ladies from the chat. Ebony D, all y'all about to get out the chat. Y'all bringing in unwelcoming things. You see what I'm saying? I get it.
My man, I say, am I looking at that gray silver chest hairs? What are my eyes forsaking me, JW? But I hear you, brother. I hear you. Keep your robe closed.
Nonetheless, welcome up, brother. What was we at? I'm gonna run this back here a second. I see Baba T trying to pull up, but we're gonna wait and see if that's him. Leon, I see you in the chat. What you waiting on?
There you go.
There we go.
JW, wow.
Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday.
Agree.
Agreed.
Yeah.
What about the 4th of July?
Oh, that's Independence Day for all Americans.
You think Juneteenth's not for all Americans?
No, they didn't make it for all Americans.
Who do you think they made it for?
Black people.
Why do you think that? Seriously, I'm like, I like to have these questions. Like, why do you think that?
Because that's what we were told.
That's what we were told.
That it's Juneteenth
For slavery, right?
Right.
Yeah, but okay. So do you think that blacks should celebrate being enslaved?
No.
You think they should celebrate being free?
But we all are.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just asking because because they're celebrating being free.
Okay, but Irish were slaves.
I know you should.
We don't have an Irish teeth day.
You should.
No, that's
This is wicked. All right, hold on. All right, before we even get going, Baba T in the house. Baba T, we already having some technical difficulties. If you are watching the show on any device, turn it off. All right, turn off any device you're watching on. All right, that's one. All right, we're gonna get into it. But she says Irish people were enslaved too. They're gonna move that goal line, baby.
What? Irish Teeth Day? Like that sounds scary and wicked. Why would it be called Irish Teeth Day? And here's the thing, like, why do they do that? What is that? Like, they did not want to get to it. He started backing them into that corner of accountability. Said, why would melanated folks, celebrate being enslaved? She's like, oh, they shouldn't. Well, what do you think Juneteenth is? It's like, oh, what Irish? Like, here's the thing. I understand that's triggering, right? Don't let it trigger you. I truly believe that is one of their tactics. They know they deflecting. They're not about to sit here and let you talk them back into that corner of guilt and shame. No. And once you see folks act like that and don't want to answer questions directly, acknowledge who they are, put them in the appropriate column, and meet them where they are. Don't sit there and try to fight them unless you up for the challenge. Then go ahead.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna get you back in, JW. But here's the thing with you. Are you able to turn your mic down? So I'm gonna unmute you, but you coming in hot. You coming in hot.
Yeah, I think I can. Let's see. Maybe that might help. Is that better?
A little better. There you go. What you got?
So the thing is that for her to be able to put the Irish in there, well, let's talk some history here. Irish people have basically been fighting their European cousins for a minute. Yes, they were slaves temporarily. Versus black folks. Well, actually, let me get this right. So they were slaves for a short period of time. I mean, let's keep it 100. We technically, for black people, been enslaved in this country for 400 something years. There has been a continuous program of basically keeping black people in a box, socially, psychologically, economically, spiritually. The list goes on. Irish people, they socially rose up, I would say roughly about the 1900s or so. When they get, because the first one, like I say, first red wave, they basically, white folks were hating on them and whatnot. But eventually they learned the culture of America. And that's how they became successful in this country. But even while they were growing socially, the other part of it is black folks, they still kept us in a box. Jim Crow, you name it.
You know what? A fact I find fascinating. Shout out to the movie Sinners. Like, you had the melanated folks, and then you had the Irish folks outside. And here's the thing in history: Irish and melanated folks always got along. Yes, for the most part, outside of maybe like gangs and little wars like that, drug wars, but they got along. Even shout out to Jameson whiskey. They made a whole commercial with it where they had this strapping Irish dude up there at the bar telling this history, and then they panned to his wife behind him, and it was this natural haired sister holding a baby. Because back then, the Irish, because y'all called it in the chat, the Irish were not slaves, they were indentured servants. We shared a similar struggle, so we bonded on that level. Like, even when I did my DNA test, I found out I'm like freaking 15. No, I'm like 20% Irish. I think my great grandma is an Irish woman. It's just facts. I thought I was black as heck, but guess not.
So here we go. What you got, Baba T? We're gonna bring you in, brother. Welcome in.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, beautiful.
Hold on.
I was just sitting here listening.
You gotta turn it off. Are you watching us on YouTube? You gotta turn it off. You gotta turn it off on YouTube. Come on, Unc. I just told you, Unc. Yeah, you in StreamYard now. You don't need to watch it on nothing else. You hear live. You don't need to watch it no more.
There you go. You good, OG?
Hey, my fault. I'm sorry. How's that?
You good?
Perfect. There we
All
go.
right. I'm listening, and you all talking about Trump and food stamps and yada yada. You know, man, who's starting these protests?
You said who's starting them?
Yeah, who's starting?
It looked like melanated folks is starting the protest.
Who's starting
George
it?
Soros.
The big money billionaires are starting this, man.
Okay.
If you look at also the Communist Party, if you ever look at one of their posters, you'll see who sponsors the protest, and down below you will see the CCP down there, the Communist Party. So, you know, you all talking about Democrats, man. Look at the Democrats program the last 4 years. You know what our problem is? We voted Republican before 57. Okay, remember the slave owners were Democrat. Okay, they get invited to the Republican Party up north, and then it changed Democrat. LBJ said after Kennedy got assassinated, if we can get these ends to vote Democrat, they'll be voting for the next 200 years. That's on record. Okay,
Facts.
so before Trump, our people wouldn't even consider dealing with Republicans, right? We knew nothing about Republicans. We don't know historically Republicans got what they learned from us. You know, family, religion, and honor. These were dogs, man. They lived in caves. They knew nothing about family, religion, and order, spirituality. They had no clue. So now we see this big old fight. You know, they wanted to pass a Congress resolution, a clear resolution to keep the government open. Back in March, the Democrats agreed they would keep the government open through November. It's on paper. Then all of a sudden they changed their minds because it's all about health care for illegal immigrants. Read it. I'm not going to do the research for you. Do your own research. That's what Malcolm said. So please read up on this stuff. Don't be talking about what Trump gonna do. Woo, woo, woo. Who's stopping him from getting these illegals out of here?
Let me go off what you said. I appreciate the knowledge you brought into the room here. Here we go. The original Triple K was formed by Confederate veterans in 1865 and became a paramilitary force for the Democratic Party. And
I'm so glad y'all saying this because I have been crucified for saying this for years.
Its purpose was to violently oppose the Republican Party policies aimed at establishing political and economic rights for Black Americans. Interesting. This is what I like this. I like to go to the origin of things. Like, how can this is my perspective, my individual perspective. How can I jump on the train of an organization that started that banned and relied on the organization that was making my people strange fruit? I be damned. Ain't no way.
Jim Crow.
That part. And shout out to this guy. I'm gonna take this back a second. This is wicked.
Like I like to have these questions. Like, why do you think that?
Because that's what we were told. That's what we were told. That it's Juneteenth for slavery, right? Right.
Yeah, but okay. So, do you think that blacks should celebrate being enslaved?
No.
You think they should celebrate being free?
But we all are.
Yeah. So I know. I'm just asking. Because they're celebrating being free.
Okay, but Irish were slaves.
I know you should.
We don't have an Irish teeth day.
You should.
No, that's getting it's dividing us more. It's dividing.
Oh, you think
Too many days
Yes.
off.
too many days?
Yeah, I
off?
have a
Yeah,
business.
that's
Too many
true.
days
Yeah.
off.
So you think that we should just everything on the 4th of July?
Yeah, it's Independence Day for America.
Republican. Okay.
Hold on. Well, here we go. What you got? Go ahead, Unc. We couldn't hear you. Do you think?
What are you talking to me?
Yeah, you weren't muted. We heard you. But do you think Juneteenth should be a holiday? That's what they're talking about.
Do I think what?
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth is a holiday. Listen, man, white folks been celebrating 4th of July just like we have for a long time. Juneteenth is just a recent addition. Okay, black folks don't understand Juneteenth. You know, it was 5 Juneteenths. It was 5 times we tried to get free. Do you understand that? Historically. So you got to read history, man. You got to understand what's going on. And why should we be concerned what white folks think anyway? White folks ain't changed in your lifetime, okay? Why are we concerned about what they think?
I agree
Remember,
with you.
they are over 4-1 on us. Their population and ours. So why are we thinking what they thinking?
It's bigger than that.
4 times as many people as we are.
It's like 6-1. It's like 6-1.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like 6-1. You're right. There's 69 to 70% population.
Yeah.
So
you don't think we should have a Juneteenth? We should just scrap Juneteenth?
You know. Remember Malcolm said, let's do our own thing. We ain't got to worry about nobody else. No, we got to include him in our stuff.
I think that's what Juneteenth is.
It's like the coffee when it's black.
And shout out to Richard. He says U.S. President Johnson was a Democrat from Texas.
Okay. Appreciate you, Richard.
So what we at? I'm gonna mute you. What you got, Brother Luther? I know you was gone for a second.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. I was just saying, you see how easy that fuse is lit with that question? It's still so much tension in there that all you gotta do is ask one question and it already starts. And you don't think that the Republicans and Democrats and all people in power see that? It's still easy. It's just that easy. Just one building, one young black man, one question, and the fuse is lit. It's still so, it's sad that it's that easy. And it's went from Big Unc Baba, which is my father's generation, to I have children and I'm old enough to just about be a grandfather, and it's still that easy. That's what I find sad about is we haven't learned, or I would say we have learned because we've grown. We have actual brothers that are smart enough, like Brother Gavin, but it's not catching on. It's not catching on. And Money T sees that, man, and it's just like all I gotta do is just take the food stamps away.
We got
one bill.
We got to stop being so predictable as a culture, man. That's one of the rules of war, right? Who's that Asian philosopher?
And that applies to so many things, Mr. Walker, like you were telling me the other day when we were talking about, the child support. Yep. Man, so you can't be, emotions just mess up everything. Just from everything. And it's so easy.
My father-in-law says anytime, in any situation, come up with anyone you want. Anytime you interject pride, foolish pride, ego, or emotion into the situation, you're always going to get an undesirable outcome every single time.
So are we saying that they're doing this to us specifically, or they're just doing this to emotional people because they know emotional people are going to respond emotionally?
Well, there you go. I believe who is the emotional people? That bottom rung of folks that's having a hard time in life. Like we come from there. Like I know we had a bird's eye view from that point of I know what I'm talking about. So it's that bottom rung, not the working poor, the poor. These folks that are crashing out over food stamps, they are naturally emotional. If they weren't emotional, I believe they wouldn't be on that bottom rung.
All I'm saying is, like, I just had a newborn. We was in the hospital for a while, and nurses and doctors making 70, 80, 120, 150, they get emotional too for simply me asking a question about how things are functioning.
So I see what you're saying, like, that is kind of like some kind of bias. Say you trying to get an understanding of what's going on. Oh, brother, you got me triggered. I know what you're talking about. You know, like, oh man, yeah, F them, man.
So it's like
trying to sit there and say, oh, you know, your kid needs this or this, and like, you know what, I read different, I don't want that, and they keep trying to push it, or you just want clarity on something. I think that's just bias and bigotry. Yeah, I think that's something different.
And what you got, brother JW?
So the thing, also folks who are in healthcare, they're right at the intersection of this unique intersection where they deal with the poorest of the poor. Think about it. They, it's not like, they deal with basically everybody, the middle class, people on the street and whatnot. So, it makes sense and stuff of why they sort of tripping, because of the fact that on a certain level, because of how the public health is it directly, affects their jobs. Because if they're not doing their part and stuff to be able to take care of people and stuff like that, guess what? That somebody's going to get fired, and at worst, the hospital get closed down if they don't, take care of people properly.
What's going on with the dark skinned brothers today in the lighting?
They coming in. They're breaking the darkness. Come on, brother TJ.
Welcome in.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? I just jumped in on I got comments on the racing the Republicans, but the hospital stuff, they come at you with that emotional hostility, and this is coming from somebody who works in the hospital 60 hours a week. Okay, so I'm there 5 days a week, 12 hours a day. I work in an emergency room. I do critical care. It's their ego. It's their ego that you're in there having a nerve, and they feel like that you're questioning their damn medical background and knowledge. And let me tell you something, as somebody who works there, you damn sure better question what you're seeing and what they're doing. I tell people all the time, if you actually knew what was going on behind the scenes in these hospitals, you wouldn't go.
Thank you for saying that.
You would. And I am a critical care respiratory therapist. All I deal with is the sick of the sick, life-ending stuff. That's all I deal with. I don't hand out Tylenol. I do life support, mechanical ventilation, cardiac stuff. So that's all I do. So I specialize. And I'm telling you, and I always tell people this all the time. This is the advice I give people, especially if you're in an emergency room. If you're in an emergency room and the loved one that you're there with is going through emergency and there's a full room full of people, pay attention to the people that are not the doctor. Their body language will tell you if something's going wrong.
The nurses, and I see what you mean. Like
respiratory, when you in an emergency room and there's a critical issue, you got 3 people in the room: the doctor, the nurse, and your respiratory therapist. We're all there during emergency. If it's extremely quiet in there, something's wrong. If people keep side-eyeing the doctor, something's wrong. And a lot of times the regular populace don't understand this because you don't understand the medical stuff that's going on, and you don't understand the culture of the hospital. So I always tell people, and it's hard to pay attention to other things when you got a loved one there sick and fighting for their life, to pay attention to what is actually going on in the room. The moment that room gets quiet, meaning people stop talking, people start side-eyeing, you see people like taking deep breaths or turning their backs. The number one thing you can see is when people start turning their backs on the doctor, something's wrong. I'm not trying to scare folk half to death. I'm just saying, what to be on the lookout for. And let me tell you something, 9 times out of 10, they take liberties with people that look like everybody on this panel. That's who they take liberties with. And that's who they decide. Look, last night, I'll give you an example from last night. We had a man who went from, we think we were going to put him on a regular floor. He went from being stable. We stabilized him. He was doing extremely well, and in a blink of an eye, he went non-responsive. And they called me to the room. They always call respiratory. So they called me to the room. I come in the room. I take one look at the patient. I go get the doctor. I said, hey, we need to go ahead. We got to go ahead and we got to protect this man's airway. We got to go do this. We got to do that. We got to put him on life support. I said, because he's crumping out. Doctor walks in the room, looks at the patient and goes, we'll give it a little bit more time. This was a black man. And I get in a lot of trouble at the hospital because I will crash out on a doctor, on an administrator, on a nurse about when it's time to do life-saving intervention. I'm telling you guys, it's a miracle I still have my job after 10 years, the amount of crash outs I've done on doctors. I've called them dumpster fires. I told them to go work other places. I told them to leave. I kicked them out of the room. I kicked a doctor out of a room because I'm so passionate about, I see the disparity in the treatment of us in the medical field, especially the men. I'm not saying that they don't mistreat the ladies, because they will, but brothers, whoo, if you go to the hospital, that one auntie, that one sister that's always on tilt and really and ready to crash out on the slightest thing, that's what that skill set is good for, is in that environment. It ain't good in any other environment, because it'll possibly get your life saved.
Or it'll lead to lock him up. You better watch out for that. Lock him up. See, you're gonna get us in trouble, man.
So I hate to derail the conversation over to that, but that healthcare thing, because I see it every day and I understand how important for good advocacy is. So I just had to stop up on that. But the Republicans and the Democratic Party, I'm going back to this subject a little bit. They are always going to push the hot button topics of racism because it's distracting from what they're not doing. And we are so primed. I'm not just black folk, but white folk too. We are so primed to go to war over their distractions.
That's right.
And I'm not saying that white folk ain't racist. White folk, I don't care about white folk being racist. I done got old enough where I just don't care about it. As long as you're not doing anything to try to affect my bottom line, affect me taking care of my family, you can be as racist as you want to be.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let this go for another minute. We'll get you in, Beans. Welcome up.
All right, I don't want my children dating blacks.
That should be okay.
That's okay. All right, black women are hard to deal with in customer service.
Negative.
Okay. Black culture is toxic.
Negative.
Black men need to stop abandoning their women.
True.
True. Saying the N-word.
N-word.
Yeah, is that racist or not?
No.
Okay.
I mean, no.
All right. I want to preserve white culture.
To an extent, yeah.
This dude drunk. So here we are.
Look at
this
the dog
guy here. He asked him, "Would you let your daughter date a black man?" He said, "Hell no." All right. He said, "Saying the N-word, that's racist." No. He's holding a potato. What's going on?
That's my question. What's up with the spud? Beans, what you got, brother? What you got? I know you got something to say about the topic. Welcome in, Unc.
I don't. I just tapped in, man. You ain't even let me get the gist of the video.
But the dog. The dog said, "Let me out of here."
But I ain't gonna look. What you want me to do? I know who these people are. I'm tired of arguing about who they are. You know, to some degree, he has a point about the N-word, though. I'll be honest with you on that one. Like, that's an L that we all took trying to force them to not say a word. Because now with us being content creators on YouTube, and then they have a whole list of words that we can't say or else. And I know how that feels, and I know how stupid it seems. Some of the words they say we can't say. But who we want these people to be? I want them to be exactly who they are.
I was gonna hit you. The title of the show is we talking more or less MAGA Madness. Will things get better or worse? Has things gotten as bad as they're gonna get or not?
No, of course not. I mean, but Trump said that though, right after he first got elected. He was like, people know things are going to get bad, but I think people are going to understand that they need to get bad first before they can get better, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And the people who are conservative douchebags are going to make excuses for that. And then everybody else is just going to have to suffer. And it just is what it is. I think either way you look at it, right? The chickens are coming home to roost for this country, man. Right? It's been a bad deal all the way around. Wherever you look at, wherever America has touched down at politically around the world, it's been a bad deal for them. And I think that's coming home to roost.
But you think it's going to get worse, or is it as bad as it is now? Or you think?
Yeah, of course it's going to get worse.
Okay. See, that's
already
scary.
seeing hangings again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them, yeah.
White people getting beat up in Ohio, right? For no reason, right? It's a lot. The racial tension is high again. Nobody's actually trying to quell it, really. Even the ones who saying they aren't really trying to. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we need to stop the violence, and then in the next breath, it's like, yo, we need to put pressure and do this and do that, and everybody got to stand up. It's like there's no way to really, and then I don't even want to go the religious route. If you believe the religion, then it's gonna get worse, right? Because that's exactly what it says is gonna happen. So of course it's gonna get worse, and I'm looking forward to it.
And I'll say, before you came up here, we were talking about the Insurrection Act, and they talk about ending food stamps. People say they're gonna run up in Walmart and start stealing. And if they give the National Guard the authority to start arresting regular people, because they don't have that power right now, according to the laws, but if he enacted, it's going to get real wonky real fast.
But won't it be beautiful, though, right? If you believe in karma, won't it be beautiful for Trump to become the kind of dictator that America has always shunned around the world? And for America to look like some of these other places look, just for some other country to come in and do to America what America has done to other countries around the world, right? Like, I mean, is it gonna suck? Yeah, probably. But at the same time, at least I'll know karma don't just work on me, right? The karma has to have more work to do than just besides in my life, because it's like I get punished for every single thing I do. So allow that to play out here. Cool. I'm glad. Do all you're gonna do, right? Take all the food stamps away, make people go crazy, put your military out there. They're gonna start killing people now, letting the country go to hell. I'm cool with that, man. Like, let it happen. Because that's the only way you're gonna reset anything anyway. Sometimes you gotta let shit burn down. Like, what else we gonna do? Do another kumbaya where we pretend everything is okay for 4 years and just have the same cycle of BS? Return, like, nah, just, it's okay, man. Let this happen.
Hey Beans.
As unfortunate as that sound, Beans, that's a lot folk sentiment. It just got to burn down, huh?
Beans,
so they got to make it sound better. Fire doesn't come to destroy; it comes to cleanse. All right, just make sure you ain't getting cleansed.
Beans, have you ever heard the term wolf tickets?
Absolutely.
That's what I think Boom Quishanim is doing out there on Tickety Talk and YouTube, talking about what they put a run up in. They selling wolf tickets. We sell more wolf tickets in a little bit. We always talk about what we gonna do and never do nothing. They just talking. They wilding and talking. That's what black women, they jump in our beans. They jump in our face selling wolf tickets. How many black women have told you over the years that they gonna put the foo-fops on you, and they just talking, knowing they can't do nothing about it?
Well, the reports are that, not recently, but I think it was either early this year or last year, Walmart was shutting down places because they were stealing so much. Right?
But they're not doing grocery store run, and they're stealing. They're not robbing the grocery store part of.
It wasn't like
we just seen the video where she had a book bag full of shrimp, scampi, and steak. She just did it. Like,
yeah. I'm talking about in general. I mean, we live in these neighborhoods where they stealing and closing down Walgreens. I was in Walgreens, man. This dude filled up a whole grocery cart full of beer and Crown Royal and walked out the door. That's what they stealing. They ain't stealing no food. Not on that level. And I'll believe it when I see it. Maybe I'm
They
just
didn't
not
have a reason
naive.
to at first though.
Huh?
So that like they didn't have a reason to, right? The food stamp card
Food
purchased
stamps.
them clothes and liquor, so that's what they stole. They was able to go buy food. But now if you tell them they can't buy no food, they ain't gonna have no choice but to steal it. What else they gonna do?
These women can buy food, man. They find a way to do everything. They got $500, $600 hairstyles and $200 raptor claws and $80 lashes, caterpillar lashes on. These chicks can find. I'll believe it when I see it. I think they woofing.
They sold their food stamps for that. They sold the food stamps to get that stuff. Now they have no food
a lot
stamps.
of times. Yeah, a lot of times.
And another thing is, I don't think we understand. It's psychological. Some people refuse to spend cash for food at the grocery store. That's a whole psychological thing in itself.
Let me tell you, it sucks. I just came from the grocery store yesterday, got 3 bags of food, and it was $180. I get it.
But yeah, I would say, imagine if you never for the last 15 years spent any money on food, and you just go, it's not a natural thing.
Yeah, y'all don't get it. That was my mom. A while back, me and my mom went to the grocery store, and this is true. We get up there, and I go to cash out, and she tried to hand me her food stamp card, and I was like, "Mom, I ain't taking your money." And I said, "Mom, I got to pay cash." And like Miss X is pointing out, she was bewildered at the thought. She said, "Cash? Why would you do that?" I said, "It's all I can do. It's all I got, Mama. They won't put us on. They won't let us get the food stamps." My wife tried to get food stamps. They laughed at her.
I bet you they did.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's ironic, nephew. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to be doing a debate, right, on a big channel, right? And they asked me to come up with the prompt, and I wanted so bad to stay away from this, right? I'm like, man, should I talk about Republicans? Should I talk about women? Like, what should I? And then it's just like so much of this is going on. I was like, you know what? Look, let's just do government assistance, right? Like, I don't even want to do it, but I'm like, let's just do it because it's so many misnomers about the situation in the beginning of the conversation. Most people are coming into the conversation with false information.
There you go.
They don't know what they're talking about. They think it's this or that or this or that, and it ain't even really that. Everybody thinking that, oh, my money going towards this. It's not, right? So I'm going to be able to bring out all these receipts and let everybody know that all of y'all are full of shit and that every single one of y'all, if you could qualify for any kind of government assistance, would take it.
I would.
And the real issue ain't that other people get it. Your issue is that you don't.
Yeah, sure. We had somebody up here say that. I don't know who was said they jealous. Yeah, shoot, me same. Thanks, yeah. I would. Yeah, there you go. I wish I could. I got food stamps one time in college, and I worked 1 hour too much a week, and they took my stamps. I was eating good, baby.
That's
I saw a small video on this. So I'm hoping it's not starting something, but the guy said, "Well, why would I go into the Walmart and steal when I can just meet you in the parking lot in my car and open the door and take it from you in the grocery in the parking lot?" So they're not going to they're going to just start coming up with ways to take stuff from me. If I can't go in the store, I just get the groceries in the parking lot. And
yeah,
I'm like,
that's stupid though.
You go from theft to armed robbery,
right? You just escalated the charge.
But the thing, and it's like, but if you come up with that idea, that creative, that's physically working. You can think of something. Why right away they think, well, I don't have food stamps, I'm gonna steal.
I mean, listen,
it's not that creative.
I want to ask this question. I want to ask this question though, because we say that a lot, right? Like people could just go get a job. Is there anybody on this panel right now? And I know somebody gonna want to lie, so we'll hear the lie when we hear it. No offense. Is there anybody on this panel right now that will work for $13 an hour? Raise your hand.
That would?
That
yes.
would? Absolutely.
Have.
I have. 2025 economy. Would you go do it?
I would if I had to.
See, but had to is subjective.
He said, "Will you?" As of today,
right.
No, nobody will not. Besides Baba T, because Baba T gets Social Security, so he can make a little extra on this.
Yeah, I would be delaying the inevitable. So
I would say this. I would say that to that means that competence get compensated. So it depends on how competent people are on this panel. I would think we are all competent people, so it's not really.
But if I could keep my family afloat, I would do it. You know, like if I was saying here, like, all right, let's go over to debits and credits, make it $13 an hour, cleaning out garbage cans in offices. If I can keep us afloat, yes, because I've done it. But if I'm saying here like $13 an hour is only gonna keep us afloat for a week, I can't take that option. But not too good.
If that's all you qualified for, though, that's the whole thing behind it. If you was uneducated, you didn't know much, you could barely see and walk, you're gonna be greeting at Walmart. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, I understand the argument, but the president, I'm sure, if I'm wrong, correct me. I don't think that nigga graduated from college, and he a felon, and he's the president of the United States.
He
So the
graduated from
qualification. Oh, he did.
Yeah, he has an MBA from the Wheaton School of Business in New York. Yeah,
there you go. I mean, when you got that kind of money, you can purchase a lot of stuff. But what I'm saying is this, right? The fact of the matter is, even if I conceded to the qualified argument, Gavin, is the fact of the matter is most businesses ain't in the business of paying people what they deserve, right? Most businesses are trying to pay as little as they possibly can so that they can make more, right? So the reason why you see the median incomes and it's not 100K is because most businesses don't pay that, right? So now you think at $13 an hour, if you work 40 hours a week, that's like what, $520 before taxes, right? So after taxes, let's just say they take $60. So you're talking about $440 a week, right? That's $1,760 a month. Your wife will leave you, and you and I both know it, right? Like, let's just be honest. You're gonna get mistreated, dogged out, walked over, treated like crap, because that's all you're doing. And then in your mind, you like, but I thought the people said as long as I'm doing something, something beats nothing. And then you go get this something that's supposed to be nothing, and then you get dogged out for doing that. And now it make more sense to sell drugs, crack cards, scam, rob, all this other stuff that brings you more, because that's the only thing people value from a man is more. And I'm not making excuses for it. I'm explaining it to those who choose not to think.
Is this a campaign for Nug Nug to become Nug Nugs or something?
I literally just said I'm not making an excuse for it. I'm explaining it to those who choose not to think, right? The people who don't want to understand why people make certain choices. They just want to judge you for the choices you make, as if we couldn't judge none of their choices, right?
I would say
just sense. That's all I'm doing.
Anything does beat nothing. Yeah, I don't care what minimum wage, whatever that is, $8 beats nothing. However, I think as adults, you know, we gotta come to terms that, hey, when things are hard, this is what hard times look like. A hard time may look like working for minimum wage, and as a man, your family deserts you. It sucks like heck. You know, it ain't fair, ain't cool, hurts to the core. But that's life, you know.
So wait, real quick. I'm sorry, real quick, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Walker agrees with me, right, that anything beats nothing. So why doesn't anything include welfare? Why do we judge people who get welfare when that's anything beating nothing?
These are working adults, man, in good health. That's why. That's not even a logical question to ask.
Yeah, because you said you went from working to non-working. So what's the similar?
Listen.
No, I'm saying if we agree that something beats nothing, why doesn't the something of welfare beat nothing?
Look, young brother, let me finish talking. Okay?
Absolutely.
Most black folks, definitely Nubian people within this country, we didn't get welfare. Mm-hmm. We were at the last height and the first fire, just like we are now. None of that has changed. The one thing that we've gotten is we've gotten over our head of living too high on the hog. People don't know how to cook. They don't know how to rap. I came up on real food. We didn't go to McDonald's. Just like now, I don't go into fast food places like that because it's not good for you. And it makes up your brain. You know, that ain't helping. Listen, you all, one of y'all gonna die before me. Okay? I'm
living.
Listen, if you see my health record, I'm living good.
I
My
guarantee you I'll
heartbeat
live you
instead
on.
of a
I
20.
guarantee
You
you
want
I'm
me to
gonna
see-
outlive you.
you
God
want me to
dang
show
it.
you my heartbeat record?
No, you good. You
These-
good.
The doctors told me it's like a 20-year-old. I'm a specified speech that's made from the Most High.
Amen.
All right, you cats, man. I'm listening to you cats, man, and you all talk about Trump. It's like psyops. You know what psyops is, huh?
Yep.
Psychology warfare.
Yes,
They
sir.
keep pushing Trump, Trump, Trump. You don't even see nothing what these Dems been doing. Food prices was going up last year. Inflation was sky high. Huh? Trump had it Biden a 1.9 inflation rate. What did he leave with? 9.0. Some areas as high as 10. I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican. I don't get caught up on parties. I get caught up on results. I see what's happening. Okay? You can talk all about Trump all you want to, but that means your mind is geared on one aspect. They the one told you Trump is bad. They've been bringing that into you since 2016. Trump is bad. Well, what happened the first term?
I mean, that's a nice soliloquy, but you haven't explained
What
to
happened
me.
the first? He freed more black men than Obama and Biden did together. He's given $1.3 trillion to HBCUs, more than any president.
Well, that's not true.
That's what
That's not
he
true.
just gave 6.3 million this year. You better do your research, young brother. Okay.
The problem is that you think you think I haven't.
No, you haven't.
The problem is that too many people get on the internet and talk about shit that they don't know.
His first term? How
The
much money?
problem is that too many people get on the
500 million.
internet. We can't talk over each other. That's ghetto and childish.
No, it's not
You
ghetto.
had a 6-minute soliloquy. I think it's okay to let me speak for a second. Right? Thank you. So, first of all, you never answered the question on why people shouldn't get government assistance. You can say working bodies, but corporations get government assistance, and they're billionaires and millionaires and billionaires. It's not a working body has nothing to do with the contract between yourself and the government and why you deserve to have some sort of assistance, assuming that you require it or need it, right? So that you never answered that. But I'll talk about this. So all of y'all who like to run around and say that President Trump gave $1 trillion to HBCUs, where you're just wrong, right? In fact, he only gave 320 million. Because people love to say
435 beans, 435.
No, I'm only counting he said the first term. So that's what I'm counting, right? People like to quote that 255 255 billion?
I got 1.34 billion.
Right. People like to quote that. The problem with that is that only a percentage of that actually went to the HBCUs, which was 80. Right? A bigger portion of that, which was like 100, went to Hispanic serving institutions. So what he did was he paraded black people out there and made it seem like he was giving us all that money when we got less than half of it. Now I can pull it up and show it to you. See, I don't have to just talk. Anything I say, I can pull up something and show it to you. Right? But are you going to say, well, damn, I was wrong? Well, damn, you know what? He didn't give him all that money that we running around telling the whole world that he said he gave, right? I absolutely pull it up. But while I'm pulling it up, I would still like for you to explain to me why it is that you think people shouldn't get some sort of assistance from their government when the whole rest of the world comes over here because they know they can get some kind of assistance from the government.
Well, wait a minute. Now you didn't move the goalpost. Okay. Okay. Now you're saying the whole world. Number one, when people come over here in the country, right? They're supposed to have a sponsor for 10 years. That's the laws of the land. So if they get all caught up and they're getting all these resources, then that's the people in charge. They know what they're doing. You all, as people, we're not even going against that. Okay. Look at the illegal immigrants. That's just an example. They opened up 20 million. Do you know what's in that 20 million? Terrorist sects are in that 20 million. When you having anybody come through their border, it's bad enough. Remember, the Chinese had police stations in New York City. Okay. So you moving the yardstick. And the way I was brought up is that a man don't take handouts. He does whatever job he can. If he got to move his family elsewhere to find employment, that's what we do. But we don't take handouts. You said anybody. Okay. I said a man. I'm not anybody. I'm a man. All right, young brother. You got me?
I'm sorry, sir, but
I'm just saying, you got me. That's the way I grew up.
I got you. Well, and
I'll
that's
say this, Beans. Beans,
yeah,
I'll
go
say
ahead.
this real quick.
Absolutely.
Robert T is a Chicago legend in the house.
Oh no, I ain't no legend in Chicago. I got too much knowledge for these fools out here. People run away from me.
Hey, Beans,
I ain't no hula. I don't wear no baseball cap looking all crazy. I don't put hoods on my head. All right, I don't wear my pants down a little bit, showing my panties. I don't do none of that. All right. Okay.
All right.
Wild.
Well, you ain't. All right, you ain't no legend then. You ain't nothing. What you got, Beans?
Well, no, I was just gonna say that unfortunately, you don't have a monopoly on what being a man is. Again, there are people from around the world, all kinds of people, including men, who come here to this country because they can get something from the government. Only black people run around this country saying we don't need to get anything from the government while giving everything to it. You give it your service and your body when you join the military. You are taxed from the very moment you are born, basically, right? For the rest of your life, everything you earn will be taxed. And yet you don't think it makes any sense for anybody to get anything from the government that we all put into. There's no logic. There's no sound argument to be made. All people have is feelings, right? And shit like trying to punch down or demonize your manhood because they can't actually form an argument, right? At the end of the day, again, and I'm about to pull up the thing about the HBCU so you can see that too. And I think once I show this, people will know I'm not just blowing smoke. At the end of the day, every single person who respects the social contract in this country deserves assistance if they so require it or need it. Every single person. It's a part of the social contract.
You think whether they work or not, like you think
absolutely.
So if you're born, if you are able-bodied, for instance, me. So if I said, you know what, I really don't care to whatever, I have a hard time in life, and I'm able-bodied, strong as ox, but I'm not about to work for $13 an hour, then I should be proud to then get on welfare because I don't want to work. And is that what you're saying?
No, we're not. First of all, we're not talking about pride.
Okay, I'm talking about able-bodied. See, my problem with people being on welfare is the able-bodied not willing to work. That's pride.
Yeah, again, we're not talking that, and you know what percentage of people that is? Maybe 1 or 2. That's what I'm saying. People don't know what they be talking about.
No,
right. We go to the worst of the worst.
This
right?
Would be just growing up. Like I'm most times, if not every time, I'm speaking on lived experience. So the way I grew up in my community, like that's what I saw. Like it may be a small percent, but that small percent could be a large percent in our culture. I understand because the bulk of welfare recipients aren't black. Understood. But that whatever that small percentage means, I would argue that it's too much for our culture because I grew up and that was pushed on me and my siblings. Just get on welfare, forget a job, forget being productive, forget being ambitious and trying to break these generational curses of poverty. So that's where my rejection comes. But if you are, I believe, if you are hurt, yeah, you know, you can work. Whatever the case may be, yeah. Then, and I also thought that's what the government said they were going to keep those people, you know, or allow those people to continue to get benefits.
Well, I'll say this. Another part of that before you go back in, Beans, is there can only be, I believe, only one person in the house can be on welfare, if I'm not correct. So a lot of these cases, you got, you know, a lot of adults in one house. Everybody can't be on welfare. So it's more of a household thing than it is an individual population type deal.
Absolutely, which is, I agree with you 100%, which is exactly what I'm saying. The number of people, like we go to the very worst of the worst, right? If you hear people talking about kidnapping, they don't say these white people be kidnapping. You hear people talk about welfare, they say these black people on welfare, when the number is absolutely very nominal and small. right? And even those who you say, when you look at the numbers and it talks about how long people are actually on welfare, I think the average for a person being on food stamps was like 5 years, or it was either 2 or 5, because it was food stamps and it was housing assistance. One of them was 2 and one of them was 5. And in my opinion, I wouldn't care if it was a lifetime. The amount of money that they're giving people that is very small compared to what we spend on wars, right? Compared to what we spend on military action around the world. So I'm like, even if it was, and here's the thing, again, everybody thinks this money is coming out of their check, and it's not a single dollar. I also can prove that, right? But even if it was, I wouldn't care. If I know that my money is going to feed somebody who ain't got it versus going to blow up a small brown country on the other side of the world, I'd rather feed somebody, right? That's just how my mindset works, because I'm not a capitalist, right? Or I'm not subscribing to white supremacy. I shared this news article with you, Mr. Gavin, if you want to bring it up.
Beans, real quick, Beans. And I'm not disagreeing with your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But would you feel that way when you look at your paycheck and they done took $34,000 out of taxes out of your income and away from your family, just giving it away to somebody else that you could do for yourself?
If again, I just said this, right? So this is what I mean. This is something that's just hard for people to accept. So to your point, yes, I would feel some kind of way, but the truth ain't on your side with that. Not a single dollar out of your paycheck goes towards anybody's rent ever. Goes towards anybody's food stamps ever. Not one.
Hey, Beans, I just had a newborn, so if you want to be charitable, please and thank you. I appreciate you, Brother Beans. So since you donating, I appreciate you.
Can you see the thing I shared with you, Mr. G?
Yes.
It should be down here with us. Old school left before he can get this butt kicking. I see. So here's that 255 million a year, right? Which is how he got to that billion number, that 1 point whatever billion number. But as you can see, that bill that Trump put in, the bill authorizes 85 million a year for historically black colleges and universities, aka HBCUs, along with 100 million for Hispanic serving institutions, 30 million for tribal schools, and 40 million for a variety of other minority serving institutions. So just because he brung the black people out there and put them out front, and it's a historic deal for HBCUs, but we didn't even get half of the money that he allocated. Y'all, this is what I'm saying. People don't really want to know. They just want to be able to say, right? I support Trump, so let me say everything that Trump says without actually doing any research on my own.
Now, I want to say this, we are not Trumpers. I want to say that we are trying to get to the bottom of stuff. But what's your point? What's your point in pointing this out, Beans?
Well, because Unc brought it up, right?
Yeah, I know him and Baba T was having a back and forth about something.
Yeah, he brought it up saying like, oh, look at what Trump did for the HBCUs, and he gave this 1.3 trillion. I'm like, nah, it's just not the truth.
Yeah,
right. And for me, anybody tells lies in front of me and I know the truth, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try to defend Baba T's position on that. My thing is back to the welfare. I don't have a problem with people getting help. My thing is here's my thing for you, Beans. You say you don't care if our people are born and get on welfare for the rest of their life because we're sending across seas, correct?
No, I'm saying I wouldn't care if they did at all. I don't care if people get something from the government for the entirety of their life. I'm fine with that because the government gets something from you for the entirety of your life.
Okay, that's a bet. Now, so it's like give and take. However, that I don't think it benefits us to take that position to say, you know what, it's cool, cuz I'm talking to my cousin, my family members. It's all right, cuz don't go to work. Go ahead, just get on the welfare and ride this thing out. I don't think that's love. Like, yeah, you could do it. Yeah, you could justify it. Oh, cuz we've been paying into this, all this. I don't think it benefits us to take this position. It doesn't foster growth, Beans.
But that's because you're hyper, like, what is the word I'm trying to say? Again, you're focusing on the latter part of the demographic, and you're saying, because this is what you keep saying. You're saying, don't go to work. What percentage of people who get welfare do you think actually work? Because I bet you it's more than what you think it is. And this is
See,
what I mean.
and here you
We
can't
think
get it.
everybody running around don't got no jobs, just sitting up.
No,
That's
I
not how
know
that
the
shit be
hustle.
working.
No, not at all. They will work just enough to get welfare.
But see, you
and
saying
also,
work just enough.
yeah, just enough, and then they will make the conscious decision to stop.
Right. Again, why do we have to talk about the 2%? Why can't we talk about the
I don't know if
percentage
it's
of
the 2% beans. You just keep saying it. I don't know if
it?
that's the 2%.
Well, it's me. You know, I wouldn't lie to you.
I believe you.
I love and respect you
also
too much to lie
You
to
also
you.
pull up data. I would like to see.
Well,
I've
here's
been
my
kinda
question,
searching-
real quick.
That's not quantifiable.
Let me ask this: do we believe? Are you saying, Beans, that all American citizens that make less than $80,000 a year should get food stamps? Should that be a thing?
I think that's
equally though. Equally, not that you. Let's say Bonquisha got 3 kids and she a single mom. She gonna get the same as me and my wife. No matter how much money we, long as we meet the threshold, everybody get an equal cut every month and make it work.
Well, I don't think you could do equal, right? Because you would say, like, let's say you had 2 kids, right? I'll give you an example. When the pandemic was happening, they was giving everybody's kids food stamps because they weren't in school, and the money was allocated to feed them. So they sent that money and gave the kids cards so they could feed their families. And it didn't matter if you had 4 kids in the house, each kid got it. You see what I'm saying? So that what I'm saying is, bro, I wouldn't care if you made $150,000 a year. It wouldn't make a difference to me. If you can get something, get it.
Well,
right?
no, it got to be rational though. It got to make sense.
It does.
So can I
okay,
speak
so wait,
on this?
let me ask you this. Let me ask you. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, George. Go ahead, because I want to.
So I will say,
let me
I have
type this.
I lived in both environments where I grew up in the hood, and then my mom, she got right. We moved to PWI area where it's like 99% white folks.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between communities is YT people, they will have their whole family live in the same household, create a business structure, have their daughters and their grandchildren under that structure to collect SNAP benefits like food stamps. The difference is we don't have that mindset to create that structure to move that way. So giving everybody welfare in the present state, I think would hinder them, because now they're going to be like, oh, I really don't have to work. Then that just reduces incentive. The incentive was supposed to be there for people to do more, not to do less. Even there was a study done, I don't know if the study, but it said something like, while other communities got off of it, Black Americans stayed on it longer than it was designed for. The program wasn't even designed for forever. And now you got grandmothers handing down Section 8, generational welfare. Like that's a real thing also. So like we have all that today.
It's what I'm saying, man. Like it's
Can I jump in
sad
here for a
to hear
second,
this.
man?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
All right, yeah. Thanks for having me on the panel, gentlemen.
Welcome in, Devin. Chef, trying to get you in, brother. Welcome in.
Yeah. We make decisions out of necessity. So Mr. Beans brought up the information about college, right? If a college offers me a scholarship and I accept it, what's the difference between that and accepting welfare? If my tuition is $100,000 and they offer me a $50,000 scholarship and I take it, what's the difference between that and me getting on food stamps and taking money from the government? I don't see a difference.
The outcome, I know y'all don't see it because y'all see people just handing you stuff. The purpose behind it, you're going to school to contribute to the latter part of society. You're not.
You don't know what my intentions are when I go to college.
No,
you don't know
what
my intentions are ultimately.
The purpose of college, and that's what people go to college. Look at Elon. Well, that's beside the point. But yeah, like the purpose of that scholarship is that they will reap benefits, even when they pay money back, like later on with the alumni donate, even stuff like that. So it's not for nothing. Ain't no such thing as a free lunch. We got to remove this concept from our mentality, please.
Well, we kind of hit on it, me and Mr. Walker. We call it delaying the inevitable. All right, that's kind of what that would be. you know, kind of like the woman we showed, and Boozy gave her $10,000 because she was homeless, and then she spent it. That it's delaying the inevitable. Unlike a scholarship, you know, obviously you're trying to get towards future goals and whatever the case may be.
The scholarship ends; it's not perpetual. And then also let you get a scholarship and then have a D average. See how long you keep that scholarship. That's a bad analogy.
It was a bad argument.
I was using it as a means of accepting something without giving anything. I was using it as a comparison to say something's being given to me and I'm not doing anything to actually reap the benefit of it.
Right. What he should have used was the grants, right, versus the scholarship, because the grants themselves are actual welfare, right? And how many people have accepted those grants to go to school with? But here's the thing. Less than 40, I think it's 40% of people actually have jobs in the fields that they got their degrees in. So I'm just saying, let's not make it seem like everybody getting these grants and they going to school and then they becoming the greatest things they could ever become, because that's not happening either.
Well, that's not the argument. The argument is this. Shout out to you, Downshift, for bringing in scholarships. Again, scholarships, regardless of what you go to school for, this is not a way of delaying any inevitable outcome. But being on welfare, food stamps, and not working and not having a way out of it, time has shown is delaying the inevitable. And there's another thought I got, Beans. How many folks can get out of the grudge and the hamster wheel of living off food stamps and living paycheck to paycheck without developing some kind of, as you like to say, capitalistic mindset? How do you, or should we just stay there?
No, but that's what I'm saying though, because they do. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand, that they're not going to, because I'm not white. Nobody's going to believe me. They don't. The majority of people do not stay on welfare. The majority of people are on welfare for 2 to 5 years. The majority. We're talking 70+%, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's black included. So these 9 people that y'all knew for the entirety of your life who was on government assistance when you was a kid.
Hundreds, man. I got hundreds, Beans. I can assure you, man. I whole communities, brother. Whole project buildings. I lived in projects, a bunch of projects. When I lived up Lamar Terrace, every high rise, all of us, everybody was living like that. And it ain't and we come from the backwoods country. I think this is the significance of my experience. We don't come from New York City. We don't come from LA. You see, we come from a backwoods country. So I'm not so high on myself to see him like, oh, you know, there's much, much, much worse going on than these bigger places than my po country town. So that's my outlook on the end. Also, with these stats, I love the fact that we're trying to get out some of these biases. I love this. Contrary to popular belief, it is true. White Americans make up the largest percentage of welfare recipients. So, you know, that feels good, right? But I also see how the other side can get it wrong. Because look at this other stat. Black children have the highest percentage of receiving public assistance compared to any other racial group. So I find out, how can two things be true? Like, how can black children make up the highest percentage, but white folks also make up the highest percentage?
Talking about because of its own population. So when you just compare the percentage of each individual population. So even though white folks in total make up the largest, recipients of it, amongst your own peer group, then black children is the highest, because they're measuring against other blacks who are not on the system. They're not measuring against the whites in itself.
Gotcha.
Well, the reason it's simple. That's actually a simple answer, is because, as we all know, there's more single black mothers percentage-wise than the other demographics. So they'll use it more, and their children will use it more, percentage-wise, not whole number, percentage-wise. That's what people think. So you might say black women, black kids get it on an 80% clip. Yeah, but it's only 10 million black kids. Then white kids get it on a 30% clip, but it's 40 million of them niggas.
See,
see what I'm saying?
Can we put only in front of 10 million? Black, can we put only in front of 10 million?
No. That was an example. That's not I'm not giving you an actual stat. I'm showing you when people, this is why most Republicans and conservative douchebags love to use percentages because percentages can absolutely make things look worse, than what they really are, right? But then when you look at the whole number, you start saying like, oh my God, it's way different than what I thought it was. Same thing with averages a lot of times, right? So the average is, I gave this example on my show the other day. You can have 5 people with 5 different income. You can have 4 people who have an income of 20,000, and you have 1 person who has an income of 100,000, right? So that would be 180,000. You divide that by 5, and now you got an average of 50,000, right? And some change. So, but everybody, 4 of them niggas is only making 20. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I don't like even using averages a lot of times. I use them when I have to. I like to use the median, right? Because the median is one way this way, one way that way. So when you say the median income for black men last quarter was 52K, then I know half the men made less than that and half the men made more than that.
Well, let me ask you this. Right? I hear what we're saying, but we talked about this last night when we was doing our show. Why? Because we get to this point where we're talking about black folks on welfare. I think our position is simply wanting better for our people. You know, that's just the bottom line. And I think people come with a deflection by saying, well, why it's only 10 million of us, it's 40 million of them. We don't care about them. We want better for our people. And that's what it's rooted in. And then people will start deflecting where, oh, it's white people versus black people. It got nothing to do with that.
And Gavin,
wait, I'm sorry. Let me ask you. I'm gonna throw it to you, TJ. Do you agree with him, TJ?
Yeah, to a degree, because here's why, Beans. It's because
no. I'll let you. You can explain why I just want to throw the question to you. That's because I didn't want to throw it to you if you didn't agree. I'll just let you go. The question is, why is it that we don't think that welfare is better for our people? I'm still trying to understand that. But go ahead.
Our life experiences that we're telling you about.
Yeah, but you're still talking about a small number of people that y'all won't accept that.
But that's
right.
That's the whole thing, Beans. I'll let you go, TJ. It's not an all or nothing. That's the thing. You're getting with the all police. I don't care if it's only 10% of that number. We want better for them. So I think
that's not possible.
Well, that's our point, though. we see this stuff in our immediate families.
They're influencing the culture. They're influencing everything.
So when you say
small percentage,
2%, I think you're being facetious. It's much more than that.
And it's the stats is 20 to 25% of Black
and we
Americans.
see this as well, George. If we were sitting on this panel with 10 people and we all lived in the same neighborhood, it would then our argument would fall flat. But we sit up here with many people from all over the country. We got the same stories, and people can all cross-examine and identify with this stuff. It's not like we all live in some building in Chicago.
It's not that, Gavin. It's that everybody's pretending like they know 1,000 people when they don't.
Before we get too far down the road, Beans, what makes it egregious is it's the fact that because it is so few of us, the impact of that is more detrimental. It's detrimental to not only our outcomes, but our national and global image. So while yes, it's a smaller group, but the fact of the matter is that because we are such a smaller group, those things that affect us negatively it's multiplied. So that's why it's egregious, even though we're such a small part of the equation.
You know why?
How is it affecting us negatively though? How is it, like Mr. Bean said, like if I was a billionaire and I knew a loophole in the tax code that would save me $20 million a year, and I take advantage of that, why wouldn't I do that? Like what's wrong with us taking advantage of things
that's a bad analogy.
That one actually isn't though. That one actually is a great analogy.
Well, the example is the system, gentlemen. It's the system. The
right.
system has
that's a great analogy.
And if I take advantage of those things, what's the harm in me taking advantage of something that the system?
We go from people in poverty to billionaires. You can't even.
Listen, I'm talking about the example of using something that the system provides.
That's not a problem. We don't have a problem with
billionaires. We don't have about using the system to your advantage.
We don't have a problem.
I'll let you go, Mr. Walker. But what I just said is wanting better for our people. A billionaire is not down bad. We're not concerned with that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm
just saying.
He's not down bad, and yet he still takes the welfare
advantage. Exactly. Taking advantage of
you see what I'm saying, y'all?
That's not wealth.
Y'all want to be victims I don't know why. I don't
Call
know.
it welfare.
Hold on.
No,
Please, can we?
it's good. Let it be welfare. Let it be welfare, George. Don't do it. Just let it be welfare. Because I know.
No, don't tell them to let it be. Make them stand on it. Because
Okay,
then
so
when we go show you that corporate welfare is a real thing, is he
That's
going to acknowledge
fine.
it, or do I have to do a
Yes,
show about him
yes,
tomorrow?
I acknowledge
Okay,
it.
so-
Welfare. It's cool,
Elon Musk got billions of dollars from the government before Trump cut him off. I know what tax incentives are.
Right.
We're talking about welfare.
Well,
The
okay,
terms
speaking
mean
of
something.
welfare, the government is shut down. If Trump signs a bill tomorrow that says he's going to send $1,000 to every family because the government will shut down, would y'all accept it?
Yes,
Checkmate.
I keep saying it. There's no problem with
Yeah,
accepting.
y'all missing the point.
Goodness gracious.
Okay,
Listen,
Mr. Walker, my bad.
Beans, I know Beans already. I watch Beans. Yeah, go make sure y'all subscribe to Beans. I watch, but I know what Beans gonna say. Listen, it's not about accepting welfare government. That's not the problem. Again, my perspective comes from a place of love and caring for my folks. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like being on welfare and not have anything else going for you is okay. That's it. And I don't believe, Beans, that what my example is such a small percentage that it's not worth talking about. I think it's a big percent that we need to address.
But the problem is, I'll let you go, Beans. But the problem is the propaganda that y'all always come up here and say it's propaganda. It's the system. Well, it's that same group of people that are propagating the damn system on TikTok, making us look bad. Y'all say, "Oh, don't worry about that." What we talking about?
Oh, not don't worry about it. What I'm saying is when you have the information, so the brother who was up here earlier, when I showed him that 255 million that Trump said he gave to the HBCUs was really only 80, guess what he gonna say tomorrow? Trump gave 255 million to HBCUs. So when somebody provides you the information to show that what you're thinking and believing, and worst of all, espousing on your channel that thousands of people watch, change, pardon my French, your mother freaking mind. Stop saying it. You're wrong. Let it go. You're wrong. The amount of people, including black people, who stay on welfare for a lifetime is nominal at best. Get over it. Straight. I came from Cabrini.
Argument being.
Let me finish. I can't. Since you want to use anecdotal, right? Mr. Walker got to use anecdotal. You say it's all your family and all the people you know. Mr. George, all the people he know. Let me be anecdotal. I come from Cabrini Greens, Chicago, the most notorious projects there ever was. My entire family was on welfare. You know how many of them niggas on welfare now? Me. The only one. I'm the only one. Everybody else, jobs, college, niggas work for the CTA, Delta Airlines, niggas own construction companies, property, everything else. I'm the only one. So does that matter?
No,
I
that's
come from hundreds of people being on it too, and not none of them are.
You can't talk about your family in general. That ain't
true. Ooh, but he just did.
No,
you did, and he did.
See what I'm saying?
I said whole project.
We said whole neighborhoods, whole cities.
Yeah, and the projects is gone now. A lot of people, this is what I'm trying to tell you. People, yes, there are some people. I know people, and I'm not gonna say any names. I gotta protect the innocent. I know people who sell drugs and make millions of dollars and still got Section 8. I know people who work their asses off and I'm almost done. Work themselves out of Section 8. Now ask me which one do I know the most of? Because I only know one nigga that's making millions of dollars and still got Section 8. But I know a whole lot of people that work their way out of it. Because most people got $1 million dreams. They ain't got welfare dreams.
I think the problem here is it's this miscommunication.
Y'all don't want to accept the fact that we're not what y'all painting us as.
No, we don't disagree. The problem is we ain't coming from a victim standpoint. We've been there, done that. I think we all got to get out of that mind state so we can see things clearly. And it's unfortunate some of us can't.
Beans, you don't. Beans, so wait, Beans, you don't work, Beans?
Absolutely not.
So
I don't make no money either, and you know that. You see me, right? A lot of people don't know about all my health issues, which I don't like to talk about it because you could say you got these health issues and they still say you being a victim.
Well, stop. No, see, that ain't here, Beans. We acknowledge if you are unwell, yes, get what you can if you can't work. Yeah, but we talking about. That's why I always say
we talking working body.
Yeah. I get that. But let's drop some facts. This is why I love Mr. Walker and Mr. Gavin, because they ain't afraid of facts, though, right? That's why they've been saying what they saying to make sure that people understand that they're not dismissing of the facts, right? So watch this. I asked somebody this, I think before. Do you file your children on your taxes?
Yes.
That's welfare.
That's fine. Perfect.
Okay, so imagine it's more people who get that welfare than it is that get housing.
I disagree with that part, Beans, because filing your
disagree with what?
Listen, if you are just this small little piece, if you are a working parent like Mr. Walker and his wife, and you file your children and you're paying out every year, all you're doing is getting a credit for the money you've already paid out.
Why do they owe you that? Why do they owe you that?
Huh?
Why do they owe you that credit?
What do you mean? It's your money.
Why do they owe you the credit?
Because it's your
taxes.
money.
That doesn't make any sense. Listen to what you're saying. I'll say it back to you so you can hear it. You pay taxes, they give you a credit. You saying they owe you a credit because you pay taxes. Everybody pays taxes, and not everybody gets a credit.
Beans.
You're getting a credit because you have a child.
Correct.
That's welfare.
It's
literally welfare.
Well, gentlemen, because it's an incentive for the most important resource that a society needs, and that's people. And if you don't reproduce and create more people, your society
this
will
nigga cooking. I don't mean to call you a nigga, my brother. I'm sorry.
No, don't do that, because I don't like that word, my friend, but it's all right. But yeah,
this man is cooking.
It's an incentive. To
Trump is giving 5,000.
I
Trump
understand
said he
that,
giving
but
an extra 5,000.
The piece of the argument that's not being said is that we're also looking at this thing to try to make it equitable. We know it's not all equitable. We know that. And so, yes, if I don't file my daughter, or if I don't have any children and I don't file, do I get punished for it? Yes. But do I think it's a child tax credit for somebody who contributes to the government? Well, I wouldn't say contribute, because it's they just straight ganking it. They ain't no voluntary nothing. Do I think that's welfare? No, I do not. Produce it, but it's not. Is it equal and equitable? Absolutely not.
Can you bring that up for me, Mr. Gavin?
All right, real quick. Let me get these super chats. We have some super chats here, Mr. Walker.
Appreciate your Red Room Entertainment. Says Mr. Walker, how much for that hoodie? This is custom. It ain't for you, Ninja.
Damn.
Appreciate you, Knock-Knee Tyrant. Says they selling wolf tickets and about to sell wolf putty. Appreciate you, Mr. Incredible, becoming a YouTube member. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, Mr. Incredible. Became a YouTube member again. What you doing, Mr. Incredible? Appreciate you, brother. Says, what up, fellas in chat? Just passing the plate. Good night. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate that.
Shout out to Jay Miller. Says, can someone please fact check Beans on income taxes not going towards SNAP benefits? A quick search will say otherwise.
Yeah, Beans. Yeah, he said something about you was way. I heard that the conversation was moving fast. Where brother TJ's talking about how he's, his money from his check. And Beans saying none of that money going towards anything.
No, he said it ain't going towards rent. Bean said it wasn't going towards rent, and I disagree with that too. But we needed to move the conversation. So I didn't even.
Here we go. You was wrong, Beans.
Shout out to Stu Pease. Come through with the dub. We appreciate you. Says the majority of payroll taxes go to Medicare and SSI per Google AI. I pay payroll, IFTA, property, and other taxes going to fund these programs. Being, show us these facts. We got 7 decades of results coming from Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
You muted.
You muted, Beans.
People who get welfare don't pay taxes.
Bad. That's a lie. Everybody pays taxes. But I think where I may have misspoke at is I'm talking about federally. So it sounds like y'all talking about state. So that would be different. But these programs that we're talking about are federal, which is exactly why everybody is running around clamoring that they're about to get cut off.
Mostly federal. The state contributes a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
The feds give the money to the states. The federal government gives the money to the states. The states enact out the plan. So the federal government don't dictate things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
well, that doesn't explain why it's going to get cut off then, because of the government being shut down. The federal government is the one that's shut down, right?
They don't have a budget, so you can't give any money without a budget. That's why
Right.
that is. But if there's if the state don't have no money, who's going to get some money?
I'm saying, do you understand what you're saying right now? That the money
No,
comes from the federal government.
I hear what you're saying.
Okay, so what I'm talking about when I'm saying none of your money is going towards these programs is what the federal government does. These are federal programs. That's why I wanted Mr. Walker to pull up the picture, but I don't think he's done with the super chats. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Baba T. Appreciate Cho G. Says, I won't be on here because you have a young man that challenged my manhood. Executive order in April 2025.
Shout out to Baba T.
Appreciate you, Stu Peas. Says, what kind of taxes are you talking about, Beans? Everyone doesn't pay payroll taxes.
That's a fact, but they still pay taxes.
Appreciate you, James Horton. Says, putting on the cape for EBT and saying basically be proud of it is not the message I want for my 8-year-old.
I agree with that. And that was kind of, our point there. It's not about being the all police. I think we getting so caught up in the all or nothing, and we can't do that. All right. Even if we're only speaking about 20%, that's enough for us to hang our hat on and say it's too many, because we're talking about millions of people. And y'all keep saying, 20%. We are talking about millions of people, no matter how we slice this.
Yeah, and they deserve it.
Appreciate your Omni Design Studio. Says tax incentives favors hardworking people. Welfare enslaves the rest of society.
And yet nobody considers white people enslaved. And they get more of it than anybody else. Explain that.
Shout out to Raquel Rose coming through with a 20 ball in the cash app. She says, truth over lies ties. Salute, brothers.
Appreciate you, sister. And yeah, because people won't say, you be wild with these comments. Why would black folks, they go say white folks enslaved? That takes away a victim card. Can't add them to the enslaved category too. That's got to be just for us. Well, go ahead. I say go ahead. Add them to it. Say that y'all all enslaved. See how that works.
Not just black people. Nobody ain't saying it. You just read the stat that said they get more of it than everybody else. Of course, I could have told you that. It's white women who gets more of it than anybody else. But nobody's saying this welfare is destroying white women, and they're not achieving, and white people aren't achieving anything, and they're so enslaved. Nobody's saying that, even though they get more. Well, you can't say that though, because then we compare niggas to them. We don't care about white people, but then you want to compare us to them. We don't care about Asians, but then you want to compare us to them, right? I'm not talking about you. I'm saying in general, you watch these shows just like I do. So come on, be genuine, Mr. Walker.
I
know that's what I said. I'm not saying you do. When I say you, I mean in general. I'm saying when I say we, I mean in general, right? I'm saying this is what happens, right? I don't want to say names because I'm trying to bring no heat to y'all channel, but y'all know this. I'm on panels every day where we get compared to Asian people. But then if I say, well, the Asian people, women marry out at almost a rate of 40%. Do you want that for our women? Then they want to move the conversation.
Beans, we hear you. We don't disagree. A lot of spaces up here, people like to do the tit for tat, them, us. Our bottom line is us doing better by any. That's just it. No excuses, no victim cards, because we come out the mud just like you, Beans. We can't do the excuses. It's only do better for all of us. Even if it's only a small percent, we want it for them. Even if it don't happen, you still gotta want it for them.
Cool. I'm not mad at that. But the name of this channel is Truth Over Lies, right? So I'm expecting the truth. So can you pull up the truth? Because I told you anything I say, I'm coming with receipts, right? So here's part of one of them, right? So this is a breakdown of all of the welfare programs. Refundable tax credits is at the top. Earned income tax credit.
Before you go, so we all know, what exactly is this proving here? What are we looking at? What are you about to approve?
Well, this is showing that the tax credit, the child tax credit, and the earned income tax credit are absolutely welfares. Those are the programs on the left, the description in the middle, and how much is spent on them on the right. So you see it goes from 2022 to 2023 to 2024. And as you can see, there was a major drop-off in 2024 because of the fact that those pandemic credits expired. right? So that's why you see the major drop off. But if you see the refundable tax credits is 85 billion for 2024, but look at housing assistance, 69 billion. So isn't it amazing that the people who get the most welfare running around telling everybody who get housing assistance that there's something wrong with them?
Beans, here we go. You
Ain't
said
that
it is
amazing?
all welfare, but can we not draw a line and divide and say that it's not exactly the same, Beans?
Why does it? What is it? Welfare? Yes or no?
It's yes, it's considered it's welfare, but it's the outcomes, it's the probable and potential outcomes for the welfare being received.
It doesn't make a listen. But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is this:
is welfare. We all accept it.
But what I'm saying is this: what we didn't, because TJ was arguing that he didn't think it was. But what I'm saying, Mr. Walker, is this: the people don't accept it as welfare. If I get a grant to go to school and you get a scholarship to go to school, I'm not going to be sitting around talking about this nigga got a scholarship. We both got some money to go to school. I ain't mad at you. You ain't mad at me. But you getting welfare and you judging people that's getting just another form of welfare when you getting your own version.
Hey,
how about be quiet, right? But I'm almost done. I promise. Real quick, please. I promise. Just let me land my plane, please. I swear, I beg of you. But here's the bigger point, though, right? When you look at that number and you see that these people that's getting that particular welfare is getting more than the other people that's getting that welfare. The reason why this is more problematic to me, though, is because you're making it seem like these other people are eating off your plate.
But
when we all eating off the same plate.
Beans, you are having a subjective argument.
I'm showing you data and y'all ain't accepting it because you want to maintain your bias.
We're looking at the data, we're accepting the data, but we're looking at the data, but the way you're breaking it down, it's a subjective argument. Like,
how is it subjective?
Okay,
that's numbers. So, one is 85, the other one is 69.
Okay.
What's subjective?
Okay, Beans, look at it this way. So is the WNBA, does the WNBA play basketball?
Yes.
Does the NBA play basketball?
Yes.
Which one's better?
The NBA.
But they're both playing basketball.
What's the point of
NBA? But you think the NBA is a subjective opinion. So yes,
so you're saying because you make more money, that makes your welfare more valid.
Beans. No one says this shit is fair.
It makes it better for the person. It makes it better for the person's outcome.
Beans, we can say that the tax credits that these billion-dollar companies get is welfare, but it's a philosophical debate. We know what we mean by welfare.
No,
but
I don't know what you mean. Because apparently,
Beans, let me ask you this real quick. Straightforward question. You got a daughter. Would you rather your daughter get a grant to go to college or your daughter be 22 years old in the projects on Section 8 collecting welfare? Which would you rather her do?
Why she got to be in the project?
Answer the question, Beans.
Because they're both welfare.
Question. I'll answer it.
No,
wait,
they're both
George,
welfare.
hold on 1 second. Hold on, George. Mr. Gavin, I will answer.
See, because you're trying to prove
I will answer your question. I'm saying why she got to be in the projects.
Answer the question. Where else she gonna be at 22?
I would rather her be in college. Now what?
So what's your point then?
My point is that how you talking shit about me when we both get welfare? We both get it.
Who's talking mess about?
Again, it's not personal. I don't mean y'all when I'm saying that. I'm speaking generally. Please. I'm never talking about y'all. I'm speaking generally.
Understood, but who is they? Who is them?
The people who's talking shit is what I'm saying, Mr. Walker. It's people. Listen, do you understand this? Do you know that as a married couple, you can make up to $400,000 a year and still get the tax credit?
Okay.
So at $400K, when you don't need it, you will still take the welfare and then sit your funky ass on the internet and talk shit about somebody getting it who really need it.
Who says
does that mean? Wait, y'all want me to respond to what y'all say? Respond to what I'm saying out my mouth. I'm begging y'all, please.
Just
respond to what I'm saying. Yes or no? Does that make any sense?
Go ahead, Mr. Walker.
For somebody that's getting $400,000 a year.
Well, but you said some Beans. You keep saying need it. Who determines who need? Because you make terrible decisions. You need it.
You see what you're doing now? When you ask me a question, you wanted me to just answer it the way that you asked it.
Life comes down to decisions.
That's fine. But when you asked me a question, you wanted me to answer it the way you asked it, with the motherfucker being in the projects, right?
What's your
Okay,
question?
here's my question. Does it make sense for somebody that make $400,000 a year to accept welfare and then sit they funky ass on the internet and talk shit about somebody who get it that really need it?
Yes, and let me tell you why, Beans.
Why does it make sense?
Because that $400,000 household income earning, they're paying it out. They're just getting their part of their money back. That's their money that they're getting back. So
it's still welfare.
It's how the hell is it welfare and it's my damn money that they
because oh my fucking God, this is what I'm saying. They tell you it's welfare on their website and you say it ain't.
But
what kind of crazy shit is that?
Beans, he's talking about how much taxes.
I don't think
it don't matter.
The 400,000
that don't matter.
They're
that
paying
don't matter.
30.
Y'all wait, George. Y'all not answering. I answered his question the way he asked it. I said, does it make sense for them to talk shit about a motherfucker that need it? They don't need it. So why they taking it?
The reason why they're talking is because of how, right?
No, Mr. Gavin, I agree with you.
I don't like that, Beans. I don't like that.
No. Wait. I'm agreeing with you that I'm saying that because y'all keep talking about the people who you think don't. And I'm gonna keep talking about the people who do.
I don't say no.
So y'all can talk about the people who don't need it all you want to.
True,
I'm gonna keep talking about the ones who do.
Mr. Beans, that is not true. We're not talking about people don't need it. See, we never said need. Nobody ever said need. This is our overall message, Beans. All right, now we understand because, like you said, you were on welfare, so you feel very strong about this. That's fine.
That ain't why though. I only been on it for 2 years. It's irrelevant.
That's all.
I've been arguing this shit for 10 years.
That I'm aware. I've been watching you, Beans.
Yeah. So before I even got it, I had the same arguments. But Mr. Walker, this is what I'm saying, bro. It's irrelevant. What I'm saying is this. If you look at what the media, this is what the brother, brother Schiff was trying to get y'all to understand.
I can't. We got to run the show, Beans. So I want to get your point. I want to get it all together because you keep saying the same things. What do you want people to stop talking about welfare?
No, I don't want people. I want people to talk about it honestly. You saying we couldn't do that? I just showed you that it is welfare. Niggas saying it ain't.
Okay, so honestly about welfare, what do you got? How should we talk about it honestly? Give us.
I just told you that. Here's how you talk about it honestly. When you file your kids on your taxes, that's welfare.
Perfect.
Now that you know that you get welfare, stop talking about shit. People who get a different version of welfare than you, right?
No.
Wait. So hold on. You told me. You asked me that. You told me to explain to you, right? Now here's the last piece of evidence I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna say the rest of it for the show tomorrow. Here's how I'm gonna show you that none of your money goes towards welfare. Can you pull up this right here for me, Mr. Gavin?
And last thing I'll say before we do, Beans, that comes back down to personal feelings. Because you cannot shame some billionaire for getting a $400,000 grant or me from putting my kids on tax. But for some reason, people on food stamps and Section 8 feel the shame on them because they know it's wrong. You can't start talking about people get money. They're going to laugh at you. But the people always want to defend this point because it's a horrible point to be defending.
But Mr. Gavin, here's the problem. I've already conceded to you there are people who abuse it. I'm saying that's a nominal number. And we talk about the smallest percent of people and not the larger percent of people. That's what I've been saying all so long. But just pull this up for me, right?
That's our disagreement.
Before I go,
you think it's a nominal number? I don't think it's a nominal number. And yeah, I don't at all. And also, before we go, Ty Pro, come up on the panel. We got space, man. You got stuff to say? Come up on the panel, dude. Use your words.
After we show Beans' thing, Beans, I got a question for you after that. Okay, so
if they allow it,
and then I got to bounce after that because I got company coming. So
you see it down there, Mr. Gavin? I want to make sure. I should, right? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so this was the Grace Commission report, right, from 1984, right, when we had less debt. So everybody has to keep this in mind. This is at a point in time when we had less debt, and now we have much more, and it ain't even close. Right. So the report's recommendation that intruded into policy were ignored by Congress, but many other efficiency recommendations were considered and some were implemented. The report said that 1/3 of all income taxes, 1/3 of all income taxes are consumed by waste and inefficiency in the federal government. Another 1/3 escapes collections owing to the underground economy, right? This is the people who actually don't even end up paying. With 2/3 of everyone's personal income tax wasted or not collected, 100%, let me blow that up. 100% of all income taxes collected is absorbed solely by the interest on the federal debt and by the federal government's contribution to transfer payments. In other words, all individual income tax revenues are gone before one nickel is spent on the services that taxpayers expect from their government.
Beans.
Argue with white people. Don't argue with me.
No, but Beans, that statement is a bunch of horse crap.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why. Just because
that's what I mean. I told y'all they're never going to accept
Beans, let him go. Let him go.
Oh, he got it. I'm sorry. TJ, my man. Go ahead.
Right. Let me finish. See, now you done derailed my question I have for you with this crazy crap. Just because that money is absorbed to the debt and we got to go borrow money, we're still paying for it. We're still paying for it. Just because our physical money is being absorbed by wasting debt, that does not negate the fact that we got to go out. We still got to go out and borrow the money. We're still paying it. So you call the, I want to go a tick backwards. You called the $400,000 person accepting the tax credit welfare. So let me get this straight from my personal understanding. And BG, my man, and you're smarter than me, but I need to understand. So if Beans is allowed to come take my I got $100, and if you allowed to come take it by threat of force, imprisonment in jail, you can allowed to come take $60 of it, and then you turn around and give me 20 of it back. So the $20 of my money that you didn't, of the 60 that you didn't took from me, that's welfare? My own money that I'm getting back is welfare. My own money that I earned is welfare.
Absolutely.
That's some bullshit.
Absolutely. So here's the thing.
Beans are smarter than that.
But here's the thing. Y'all keep saying this. I bet you $100 right now you can't make an argument for why you deserve it.
While I deserve the money that I didn't earn?
Yes, that you had to pay in taxes. You had to pay it, right? So why do you deserve to get it back?
If it was up to me, I wouldn't pay none of it.
Wait, that's not the point. You see what I'm saying? That's one deflection.
Yeah.
You had to pay it. It was gone. Why do you deserve to get it back?
Because I earned it.
But you had to pay it. It was gone. Why do you deserve to get it back? No, Mr. Gavin, please acknowledge that that's not an answer.
I'm about to break it down. Are we talking about income tax?
Yes.
Yes.
Or are you talking about him receiving a return on his income tax when he files?
Yes.
That is simply he overpaid his taxes.
No, that's not what that is. That's not what we're talking about. No. So we're talking about two different things. Yeah, we're talking about two different things then.
What are we talking about? A child tax credit? What are you talking about?
Yes, and the inheritance tax credit. Yes.
They took $60 out of my 100 and then turned around and say, you know what? I'm gonna give you $20 of your money back. Being saying that's
wait, but
that's
here's what
welfare.
You won't answer, TJ. Why are they giving it back to you? Why are they giving it back to you? Forget how you feel about it. Why are they giving it back to you?
Because you contributed in some way. Example, I'm 1099. I drive. Because I'm contributing in some form or way commercially, the government said, I'm going to give you back 65 cents on every mile you drive, or you can reduce your tax burden by writing off things that you did for business.
Right.
So where we paid into it, the government is saying, hey, because you contributed to our economy, we are going to refund you. That is different.
Everybody pays into it. Every time you go spend $1, you're paying into it. Everybody pays into it.
We're not even we're not talking about the commercial side of it. We're talking about the government ganking and then giving us a piece of our money back.
TJ, I'm not arguing with you or disagreeing with you.
Okay.
What I'm saying is here's what I'm saying. Okay. You come to me, you get $100 from me. I'm saying I'll take $100 from you.
Yes.
And then I come back and give you 20. Regardless of how you feel about why I did it, there's a reason why I did it. And they're telling you we doing it because it's welfare. So who are you to tell them that it's not? When that's what they're saying.
Well, here's my thing, Beans. All
Nobody
things
ever answers my
here's
question.
No, I can't because
Just call it welfare. I keep
think the
telling y'all,
question
just
is
call it.
flawed.
He ain't gonna stop till you call it welfare. Because
No,
They don't have to.
Here's
They
my
don't have
thing.
to.
I want to say this. Beans, all things ain't fair and life ain't equal. So
that's what I said.
I get you want this world where it's all equal, and I get it. Whether somebody on welfare or whether you collecting a grant, we all in the same boat. That's not life, and it's unfortunate.
I mean, hey man, listen, people are allowed to think what they want to think. I'm also allowed to call them stupid when they refuse to change their mind when presented with new evidence. If they say, here's what I'm saying, if they change the name of housing right now from welfare to something else, y'all would still call it welfare because that's what they've been calling it all this time. But when somebody is telling you this is what they're saying it is, and you like, nah, I still ain't that because I don't want to feel that way about it.
Government,
I ain't get what can I do?
Welfare, not us, because the government is somebody that's on welfare. To me, is somebody who's getting something who haven't earned it. The
And
government
that's insane.
The government, it hasn't earned our money. They're just taking it from us.
Everybody look up everything else. Everybody Google what percentage of people who get welfare have an income. And then after you figure that out, I want you to change your mind and stop being retarded.
Wait, stop. Change minds about what? What is
He
this?
just
What
said to him, a person who gets welfare is somebody who don't have an income.
And I say, who haven't earned it.
Yeah. Or who haven't earned it. That doesn't make any sense.
That's not necessarily true. That's not
true. Absolutely are earning it because you qualify for it like any other thing in the system.
Oh yeah, granted. But the bottom line is, Beans, you ain't gonna stop people from talking about people on welfare, just like you ain't gonna stop talking about whatever you're talking about. It's always gonna be a conversation.
That's a fact.
And
Beans, I get it. You want everything to be fair and say you can't talk about this because you getting it too. And
not fair.
That's what you said.
No, not fair. Smart. You know this about me, Mr. Walker. Smart. If I think something and somebody show me something different, then I'm gonna change my mind. I'm presented with evidence. I'm not going to keep running around saying the wrong thing and espousing false information. I'm not going to do that because I am truth over lies.
I never understood your argument.
All right,
on this,
gentlemen.
I never understood why you feel the need to defend the welfare. I don't.
Well, because again,
do we know what the definition of welfare is, gentlemen? Do we know what the definition of welfare is? Because it seems like we're kind of just tossing it around. The Google says welfare is financial support given to people in need. Now, the question is, what is need? What is need in my perspective? What is need in your perspective?
I don't know
that goes back to my
why
original argument.
Why are we defending welfare?
Because it's not what people think it is. That's what I'm saying.
We need to stop saying welfare. If you want to talk about food stamps, talk about food stamps. If you talk about Section 8, talk about Section 8. You talk about income tax. If you talk about Pell grants,
there you go.
We need
Isn't it all under the same umbrella, Mr. Gavin X?
Talk about specifically because it's a coverall and it gives Beans. That's what Baba teaches. Because it's a coverall.
So change how we talk about it because it gives Beans advantage.
Specifically.
Because that coverall. Exactly.
It's
there
the
you
umbrella.
go.
What the fuck? Like what? That is crazy to say that, bro. We need to talk about philosophy and we need to separate that from psychology and we need to separate that from biology, or we can just say it's all classes in college.
Yes, psychology and biology.
I need my money
back. What are we talking about? We could be talking about what Beans.
They still all get you a degree, right, Mr. X?
Context is king over here.
Absolutely. You're right.
I like that.
Context is
the context, though.
They take my
job.
I need my money back. And that welfare, I need my TJ. You said they take the money from you. You want it back. I need my money back. That's welfare. I need it back.
Right. That's a fact.
I need it back.
Look,
I like this guy.
Now you're just being an asshole. Now you just being an asshole.
Hey,
give him his props, TJ.
Okay. I would say that was a good one, but I still disagree.
Right.
But guys, I gotta go. But this has been fun.
All right, TJ, love you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother TJ. But no, I agree. Nope, we not giving Beans no ammo to come up here with semantics. Because I've been waiting. I've been waiting. I've been over there watching these late night, pull up all this stuff.
Oh, ain't that a bitch?
And the whole time I've been sitting there like and I was in the comments. This was a while back. This was about a month ago. You was defending this, and I was in the comment calling you crazy. See, let's check on you crazy. Here we go. So again, perspective and lived experience is huge. Shout out to Beans. Beans saying
Absolutely.
he didn't experience folks, growing up and taking advantage of the system. Everybody he grew up with, for the most part, that were on welfare are now off. That's awesome. So hence his perspective. Our perspective, not the same. We've seen people in too big amounts, too large. The groups, I can't say a lot. I can't give you 2 million, but the amount of people was too much that took advantage of it. And why is it a problem? Even though it may not be a large amount, y'all know what our message is. Do what's best, moving away in the world that's best for these children, these humans that are going to come in and inherit this earth. And I find it be a detrimental message to sit here and act like any form of see, here we go. Anybody getting on Section 8,
right?
Food stamps and all of these impoverished welfare subsidies. There we go. And doing it with pride and not trying to get out of it and not having any shame in it. I think that's detrimental. When we used to go to the store with food stamps, we hid the book. The ones is brown, the 20s is green, the 50s was blue. I know I'm talking about. Yeah, you hid it. You didn't, because you had shame, because you wanted to try to get out of this. But today we have lost a sense of shame. Nobody has shame. And you want to know what's crazy? It is impossible to have a moral compass without a degree of shame. And this is where we are. So yes, there are folks that need the welfare system. Yes, we all may, to some extent, some degree, utilize the welfare system. But if you are impoverished and having a hard time, do not make it seem like it is a good thing to do. It's not.
But Mr. Walker, you know that in New York, the biggest not proponents, but the people who utilize the Section 8 program more than anybody else is the Hasidic Jew.
Again, so
we think they're the richest people in the world, and nobody don't got more Section 8 than them in New York.
But here we go, Beans. This goes back to my deflection argument. Let's say for 1 second we go take welfare away from the little hats, from white folks. We're gonna take it from everybody. What the hell is that gonna benefit us? How's this moving us forward? We want to deflect. Let's just clean it up. We know it's an issue. Why not address it, even if it's 10% or 2%, as you say?
Here you go, Beans. No, here you go. And Beans, I bet you shot that specific small hats. I guarantee you they ain't impoverished. They here we go. If you can mold Section 8 and food stamps and end up getting financially stable, go ahead, baby. But you're not living and wallowing it. Yeah,
but Mr. Walker, that's literally abusing it.
No, we said, but does our outcome Beans getting better? The abuse. I'm talking. Let's be specific. The abuse that we are all speaking of, Beans, abusing it to your detriment.
Okay, cool. We
don't care about the government losing money. We don't care. No, people that they are abusing themselves by not getting off of it, brother.
You saying that again. This why Mr. Walker, Mr. Gavin, he don't know this, but once I get off the stream, I'm gonna cry in the car because he keeps saying deflection, and it's not a deflection. It's trying to get people to realize, if you look at this other demographic of people who you have such a high esteem for, and they also are taking advantage of what the government is offering, why do you think it's not right for your people to do the same thing?
Well, let me ask you.
The thing is, wait, hold on. He said 2 things. When the YT people use it, they're taking advantage. But when we use it, it's abuse. So like you in your own statements are differentiating how we use it while making your argument.
I keep saying y'all focusing on that percentage, George. Don't worry, I'm gonna react to it tomorrow. And I'm gonna make sure so I can show everybody that George just lied on me. Bro, I keep saying that the percentage of people who y'all are talking about who abuse the system is nominal. It's not even 10%. It's not. You got to think about it.
It's 20.
You got
It's 20.
It's not.
I just looked it up.
Here's the thing.
I just looked it up.
20% of who?
Blacks. The 20% of all African Americans who are on the system, 20% of those stay on it longer than 5 years, 10 years plus.
Right.
Like, so,
but that's you're still saying that equals to abuse, and you don't know that. You don't know what these people are.
You said it was abuse.
I'm not.
Said it was
That's
abuse.
the point. I'm not saying that. I'm trying my best not to even talk about those people because I know they're nominal. I've done the research to know that this is a very nominal thing.
1 in 5 is not nominal. Back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, we had the
You're a liar.
lowest rate of divorce. Today we got the highest rate. So nominal is a matter of time. You keep
saying 1 in 5, and you're saying that 1 in 5 is on it for longer than 5 years, and then you automatically equate that to abusing it. That's your bias.
You said abuse. Abuse
I
came out
didn't,
your
bro.
mouth.
That's the point. I never said that anybody on welfare longer than 5 years was abused because I'm the one who said stay on it for a lifetime. I don't care.
My point was when you differentiated, you said when the people who don't look like us use it, they take advantage. But the people who look like us, you refer to them as abusing the system.
No, I didn't.
When you asked the question,
he avoided as abuse, and he referred to it as abuse. So I'm responding to the people who they're talking to, while in my mind maintaining that I know it's a nominal number. What I'm saying is that the majority of people, and I think it's more than it's closer probably to like 85% of people who get some sort of, not just food stamps or housing, but get some sort of government assistance, actually need it. They need it, bro. You can't look at the income, and then if half of the brothers make 52 and half of the sisters make 50, they need it.
Well, here's the deal, Bean.
What are we talking about?
So here we are. They are not cutting it off. They are telling people you get 2 years on the program. You have an issue with that?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, because
what's the issue?
Well, because America isn't set up for everybody to be successful. The way that capitalism works is that you need a poor class. So if you want these people to uphold the social contract and not be violent and belligerent and committers of crime, then you need to allow for these pillars to be in place to maintain people's sanity,
or do we need to get back to families and marriage and two-parent households? I told y'all this last night. The majority of the stuff people are talking about on the internet is rooted in single motherhood. All these conversations, it's a gigantic tree, and the roots of it are all single motherhood. All this stuff. If we got the family back together, most of these conversations wouldn't exist. But here we are.
That's true. That's true. I mean, yeah, because then the impact of women in the marketplace wouldn't be affecting us the way that it is. So that's a true statement. Because there's 2 million more black women, whereas 1.7 million more black women than black men. 700,000 of those are adults. The other million are under 18, but they own their way. And again, there was only a $2,000 difference between our income and theirs. So when women say things like it ain't enough men, they aren't actually lying. Right? Yeah, it's not enough, right? When they say not enough of y'all don't make enough money, they aren't actually lying. Enough of us don't make enough money to what it is that they want. But to Gavin's point, if I brought my 52 in with your 50, we doing much better. So we can't argue with that, Mr. Gavin. That is an excellent
But they don't want to do that. They don't want to.
Yeah, which is why we stuck here. Which is why I'm going to keep arguing with you to stop telling people not to get welfare. When we stuck having to do all this shit on our own, and most jobs is paying $13 an hour.
I agree.
Wait, Mr. George, the median income in the country is $39,000. That's countrywide.
They want to get married.
But
People
that is not
money, bro.
That's not this is the issue with the numbers, even though that is the median is that for household or individuals?
That's for individuals.
Okay, then for the most part, excluding for major cities, that's more than enough for an individual to come up on. It don't sound like enough if you're living in New York or LA or Miami or something like that.
Yeah.
But in North Carolina, in Arkansas, in BFE, Pennsylvania, in Cleveland, Ohio, like that's more than enough. And people, because of the environment, because of the consumeristic environment, they are
Absolutely.
not buckling down. And I can speak for that for myself. It took me to damn near having a child and going through detriment before the switch clicked. So it's a mental illness more than it's color this and color like. I think anyways, I think we just have this programming that we really need to overcome before we can even benefit from even having welfare.
Yeah.
Look, can I say something real quick? It's George, you were cooking there, brother, and it's like the old Cosby Show episode where Theo did where Bill did the real world experiment with Theo, and Theo said, "I can get by with bologna and cereal." So we need to go ahead. You know, people don't understand. You can get by with that bologna and cereal, and stop trying to go and get them lobster, them crab legs and that lobster.
Amen.
Absolutely. I mean, and to George's point, right? When we, like, yeah, you can individually, but we're not built to be individuals. We are built to cohabitate. We are built to come together, man and woman, and do our thing. And people are going to do that, and they do it more when they're poor. Poor people have the most babies than anybody else, because one of the biggest copes for your poverty is sex. Right, because it makes you feel like you're not that poor, right? So I'm saying, but Mr. Gavin has his point, right, when he's saying that if we did the family thing, it would be better, because if we come into the households with those individual numbers, then we could be pulling together. But you know why that's necessary? Because most people ain't getting to the six figures. That has never been the case. This line that we draw in the sand to tell people you ain't successful until you start making six digits, it's just never gonna happen. That's not how capitalism works. If right now, if the median income for us is 52K and we saying that ain't enough, what's gonna happen when the median income is 100K? Then 100K is gonna be worth what 50K is worth today. It ain't gonna be enough. And that's why Mr. Gavin's point is so strong. It's stronger, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Mr. Gavin because I know he's smart, but it's stronger than even what I think he's presenting right now. Because the fact of the matter is that if we doing it together, then we don't have that impact on the economy. Because now everybody don't need to make six figures if we come together and pull our resources together, and we can move together as a six-figure unit. You see what I'm saying?
What it is.
Well, that's a strong point you made.
The key word, sacrifice. That's for man and woman. That's the greatest problem in our community. Don't nobody want to sacrifice. All right. Especially when it comes to marriage. It's a gigantic sacrifice for a man, especially if you're a select man and you got women and you can say, I can have a different woman every day of the week, but I choose to be with one woman. All right. And for a woman, you can go out here and live hot girl summer, but you choose to get married early and do the right thing. It comes down to sacrifices. We can all be, give to our fleshly needs, but we won't do it, and we ain't gonna do it. So here we are.
Yeah,
you're right, man. And like Mr. Walker, Mr. Walker, you be cooking, my friend, when you talk about beating in college. That's where I met my ex in college, when you're both broke and you don't have that list of requirements. Because when you start achieving, then the level of requirements grows. That list of expectations and requirements grows as you achieve. When you go to college, you're young, proverbially dumb, and you're broke, meeting someone in the same situation, and then y'all build together. I have a daughter. I'm telling her, hey, she's going to be going off to college. I'm like, when you go to college, concentrate on earning your degree, but that's the time where you meet the man. That's the time you meet him, because also the pool at that time is larger. The pool is larger. When you're 47 or 50 years old, the pool of people has diminished very substantially. And then you got a list of requirements as well. It's very difficult to find someone when you get older. It's really easy to find them when you're younger. So if we can promote that, Gavin X, Mr. Gavin, if we can promote finding people when you're young and then building together, then we can make a change in our community.
I got to get out of here. I want to say salute to the entire panel, those who were here, those who came and left. My man, Mr. Gavin, and my nephew, Mr. Walker. Dope, super dope conversation. Thank y'all for helping me prepare for tomorrow. Hopefully I don't make a fool out of myself because I was nervous. My hands were shaking while I was up here talking to y'all, typing and looking for stuff. Y'all hearing me nervous, so I know I'm gonna be nervous tomorrow. But man, salute to y'all. I appreciate everything y'all doing.
Beans, don't be nervous. Stop that,
Much
Beans.
success to you.
Don't
man,
be
I get nervous when because I only debate stuff that I really believe in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I really, and then sometimes I get agitated and I go too hard, be too demonstrative. So I'm still learning how to control myself on that. But shout out to everybody. Yeah. And the last show with George and the other cat, like y'all too, man. I just want to tell you this while you here too, man. Thank y'all, bro, for being understanding and giving me a dope conversation because that is on my mind. The way that y'all was talking to me and y'all wasn't offensive, y'all wasn't going all in, y'all wasn't being crazy and shit. Like, and it helped me to maintain myself. And now moving forward, I know I got to take accountability and how I act on these panels, man. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all.
Beans, I want to have a serious conversation with you because I feel like we can really bond on some.
Bro,
and I
let's
feel like you
do it.
could give me a lot of information.
Let's do it. And the last thing, I disagree with Gavin. I don't think that's the biggest issue in the black community. I think it's leggings. Bro, we gotta get rid of these leggings, man. This is out of control. People's grandmamas wearing leggings now. Big old girls wearing leggings now. Like everybody leggings 24 hours a day. Ban leggings, especially at work. It's your boy, Mr. Beans, man. I love y'all. Peace, man.
I just said that to my wife. I said, look at this lady. She's 70 wrinkles in the leggings. How you got wrinkled legs? It's supposed to be straight.
Wrinkled leggings is diabolical, but it's true. I'm so tired of seeing Gam wearing, leopard leggings. Come on, man. You're supposed to be wearing, you're supposed to see your shape, Gam. Cover up.
It goes back to what George was talking about. Consumerism, y'all. It's trendy. It's trendy. So that's why people are wearing it. It's making money. It's trendy. If we can get to the people, whoever they are, that group of people will decide what's in. They're the ones who's influencing this. So it's a trend. Just like the bonnets is a trend. I don't know where that came from.
Hopefully we got some understanding this evening. That's a good conversation, though. Shout out to brother James Horton. Says nobody deserves anything out of my hard-earned check. This is the problem. Too much entitlement and coddling. I agree. Appreciate you, Nai's coming through. Says horrible argument because we are not prospering. Yeah, the prospering part. Appreciate you, Baba T.O.G. Says this young brother challenged my manhood. Hear how he sound like he knows something about and don't know ish. Don't listen to him. He love moving the goalposts. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Beans, Baba T. It made for a good conversation. All right. That's one thing Beans gonna do is bring his point of views.
Yes, he is. Appreciate you, Jay Miller. Says all welfare is not equal. Many people get way more out of the system than what they contribute. My issue is with people not contributing their fair share. I feel you. Me personally, I don't care about none of that. I just worried about people utilizing it to their detriment. That's what I mean by abusing. They're not gaining anything.
Man.
Shout out to Rachel. Rachel, better say it 3 times. She says, why aren't you talking about the millions Elon Musk gets in government contracts for Tesla and SpaceX? And Elon is now asking for $1 trillion salary yesterday. This welfare on the highest level. Shaking my head. There you go, Brother Beans. There, even Elon on welfare.
That part. And like you said, that welfare thing is a coverall. I've seen Beans have that argument before, and I get it. If you fall into the trap, he has a point to stand on. You need to be real specific on what you're talking about. You talking about welfare or stamps or whatever, Section 8, whatever part of welfare are you talking about?
You see, once we got specific, then he's like, okay. But yeah, this the word choice he try to get you.
Semantics, man.
Appreciate you, Nais. Says this argument being on a treadmill 8 hours, lose 0 weight. Appreciate you. 07 coming through, gifting 5 Truth Over Lies memberships. Appreciate you.
Appreciate that, brother.
Shout out to Stu Pease coming through this evening. Says, Beans, you are sounding like HQ. Where our friend HQ, man? We losing friends. HQ, Top Pro, they don't like us. Appreciate your Air Force Reek. Says, someone sell me some stamps before they go extinct. Extinct stamps. Shout out to the International Quiet Storm, one of Kevin Samuel's original moderators. Appreciate you coming through, brother. Says Beans have a lot of panel PTSD. He has debated a lot of horrible people since I first met him in 2021 on Sir Hal show. Have a little bit of patience with him. Oh, don't we know it? Yeah, he done been debating with everybody.
And that's kind of what he was doing, you know, and like Mr. Walker said, HQ, they kind of do the same thing when you be on a lot of these panels, and then you could bring that talking point over here. It's like we don't have a lot of talking points that many of these channels have. We stand on our own square, and because of no, well, they said this over here and that. And HQ used to do that. They say that on that panel, and they be saying that. I don't know what the hell people be saying.
And that's another lot. That's a lot of the misunderstanding. Yeah, we ain't never sit up here and say, oh, you got to make 6 figures to be worth a dang. But that's what Bean said folks say. But we just ain't folks. But nevertheless.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah! So here we are. We're going to go around. We're going to get final words before we get out of here. Crazy show. We Truth Over Lies. Will things get better or worse? All right, we get you in downshift. What you got, brother?
Appreciate the opportunity again, gentlemen. Really appreciate it. Just looking at things historically, I don't think it's going to get any better. I think that things are just projected to continue to get worse. And one reason is because we can never get on the same page. We can never work together. We did in the past, but looking at how things are now, we're not going to be able to come together and form a united front and be a change agent or change things. And then in addition to that, when it comes to both sides of the line, and I'm talking politically, think about where we are in the order of importance as far as the people who support, whether you support Republicans or Democrats, people of color, our people, where are we on the list of people who hold importance to them? Where are we? We're always at the bottom of the list.
Exactly. We got to change it, brother. We got to change it by talking about the most detrimental parts of our society, I believe. Appreciate your downshift discussions. Don't be a stranger, man. Ain't seen you in the chat in a while. Have you changed your daggone chat name?
No, it's still the same. Okay. I just I got broke for a second. I need to go get some of this money.
There you go, bro. Accountability. There you go. Happy you got to the bread. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
What you got, brother George? What's your final take here?
Man, it seemed like Beans was talking about communism. The more I think about it, everybody getting welfare. If everybody getting money, who working? But I digress. I agree with what you said, Gavin. Families, we just need families. My point is, focus on your household first before you step out in the streets and try to make a change. If you not right, if your family not right, then nothing else gonna be right.
Amen.
And like I said, come down to sacrifice. Because what's stopping us from going out here and having other kids and doing all kind of wild stuff or crashing out, go out here and up the pole or anything. All right, your family, you sacrificing for a greater good for generations. Some of us are so selfish. We worried about what we gonna do in this lifetime, and then once we in the casket, it's over. I ain't thinking like that. I'm worried about my great grandkids. The hell with that.
There you go. I think that's critical too. Like, I think it's important to love life and enjoy this and be grateful for this journey, but we should not have a lust for life. In the instance where you don't want to sacrifice, you just want everything to be comfortable and cushy. That doesn't build. What is the saying? Good men create good men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And that's a cycle. That is a cycle. I told my son, I say, folks like me and your Uncle Mr. X, we went through the hard times. We are the strong men that evolved from hard times. And I tell this generation, don't fall victim to what y'all are prone to. Don't become weak men because of the good times that the hardened men create. Like that's getting rid of that selfishness, taking on the burden to be better. Again, nobody should be proud to be engaged in the impoverished welfare system. The impoverished welfare system is not created for you to get a head start or get out of it. It's wicked. We acknowledged that last night's show. It's so messed up that these single moms sit there and do the math. They say, if I bring in more resources on the welfare than working, that's the detriment. And then they never end up becoming their best self. Excuse us for wanting better for everybody, for the most part. Excuse us. Excuse our loving hearts.
That part. So we appreciate you, Brother George, coming up today.
For sure, man. Don't be a stranger. Love having you, man.
What you got? Okay, you out of here. So yeah, another wild show. We done made it through. Shout out to Uncle Beans. He came through. Shout out to Baba T. It's unfortunate Baba T hightailed it. We would rather you stayed up here. I don't know what you're talking about, the whole manhood thing. I'll have to rewatch it. It's clearly something must have went over my head. I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think because first, I think Bean said his man, they'd be saying wild stuff. Shout out to folks, shout out to personalities like Beans and Baba T. They would just say wild stuff. And that's why I like Beans, because Beans, he come up here, he say wild stuff, but at the end of every show, he gonna say, all right, I appreciate y'all. Sorry I did this. Some accountability is there, mental health awareness. But yeah, I don't know what they was feuding over.
That part. So we were talking about MAGA Madness. Will things get better or worse? All right. It was heated up here. I mean, it went left, it went right. But I think in the end, we had solutions. All right. We see some of y'all trolling in the chat. We would rather y'all click the link and come up like a man. Ain't nothing worse than sitting in the chat trolling like a little girl, respectfully. Like, it's not respected.
At all. Yeah. We'll let the girls get away with it, so the ladies. But if you a man, come on now. We advocate for men. Come up here and give us your point of view. Use your big boy words instead of just hurling insults in the chat. We all for difference of opinion. Shout out to Beans. We got him up here. But hurling insults, ain't no need for that. We here to learn. We here to have a good time, joke, and learn something. We are here to move forward to some degree. I think we learned something for sure. One thing
unless you're just a chat troll. Some people are chat trolls. And to me personally, ain't nothing worse. I look at a chat troll like a turd. You like a giant human turd. You smell, you stink. All right. Ain't nothing worse than a chat troll, especially for a grown man. So a grown man, you like a chat troll with a dress on and a bra. All right. Be a man.
I love that balance with Mr. X. That's just that. Yeah. Nothing else to say. Welcome to Truth Over Lies. You got something you want to say? We got an open panel for you to come up. Salute and respect to everybody that came up and gave their point of view. Appreciate your downshift discussions. Appreciate your brother Beans. Again, this is not an echo chamber. Only thing we require of men, come up here and talk with some respect. And we always respectful, as you see. Come on up.
So make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Truth Over Lies. One thing about it is growth. And one thing I know about growth, it hurts, it's painful. All right, you're going to shed some skin and leave some dead skin behind. So some people are dead skin. All right, I'm looking at my son right now. He growing teeth. He growing. It's painful. He crying. He got teeth coming in. It's painful. And with this growth and the transition of cart before the horse, it's going to be painful for some of y'all.
You touched on something, Mr. X. Wow, I had the same epiphany, right? Life is pain. Life is discomfort. I'm not trying to hear that mess. That don't sound good. And again, looking at the babies, I'm sitting there looking at my youngest daughter. Man, she looked like a dang on doll. And she started cutting her teeth. And I'm sitting there on my baby. And as a parent, you sit there like, Why my baby gotta hurt like this? It's necessary for the growth. This baby ain't did nothing, but she still got to feel that pain and them teeth coming in if you want to grow and eat solid foods. There's discomfort in growth. That's why I love saying, like, I am so open to criticism because that's how I grew being an athlete. Coaches very seldomly say nice, sweet things to you. But also I thank God I had the pleasure of seeing how that builds me up. And I'm not sensitive to folks coming with a different point of a different opinion or a different point of view. But yeah, gotta toughen up. Don't be soft.
That part. And like you said, click the link. Anytime y'all see us over here on this channel, it will be an open platform. So like I says, one thing, chat trolls do exist. They normally come in, they don't have avatars. Granted, that's a thing. But when you are identifiable, it's not respected. Show yourself, be a man, or you are a woman.
Nothing else to say. Be a man. Where are you?
That part. So we'll be back up here tomorrow for day 22. Day 22 over at SBC. We'll be back.
We moving, man. Shout out to Cart Before the Horse, Single by Choices, Truth Over Lies family. And again, shout out to the Patreon. If y'all want to keep up with all of our shows throughout this 35-day marathon, you got to join the Patreon. Our Patreon shows are exclusive. I think we run them on Fridays. If you want to see it, you got to join the Patreon.
That part. So tomorrow, Thursday, Single by Choices. Like Mr. Walker said, Friday, Patreon, you got to sign up. And we should have a crazy show tomorrow. You don't want to miss it.
There you go. More dating madness. I love it. A little breaking action got the dating madness. Now we got over here a little political, a little religion. I like it. We moving as promised, and we ain't moving nowhere without y'all support. So we do thank y'all. Without SBC, Cart Before the Horse, Truth Over Lies Nation, there is no us. So we appreciate y'all.
Also, shout out to Sister Raquel. I know Raquel is going live tonight at 9 p.m. So I'm about to drop your link in the chat. Make sure y'all go over, subscribe, check her out. That's where we at on Wednesday nights and Monday.
There you go. Shout out to the Rosebuds and Rose Thorns, and shout out to the brother Jay Tillman. Stay whipping up the good old lo-fi chill music that I'm always listening to. Make sure y'all subscribe to that brother if you're down for some good, relaxing music. All right. Made me good to hunch to, too.
That part.
Appreciate your real books, gifted in one Truth Over Lies membership. We appreciate you, man.
So here we go. We'll be back up here tomorrow night. We appreciate all the sponsors coming through. Sister Raquel, International Quiet Storm, Baba T, Brother Stu, Sister Rachel, Mr. Incredible, Richard Media, Project Leroy. We appreciate all the support.
For sure. Thank y'all. Be here tomorrow at 8 o'clock for Single by Choice Madness. We'll see y'all then.
So until then, I'm Gavin X.
I am Mr. Walker.
And we are Cart Before the Horse Productions.
Good afternoon.